Striking.
So it wasn't that long ago that a prominent political figure came into my job, and I was the nurse for that person. And he wanted us to look up vaccines for where he was going on a new business trip, and he happened to be going to Bangladesh. So without hesitation, I turned. I'm like, oh my God, I know a guy who has 17 Bangladeshi kids. So he looks at me all weird, and I go, we're not crazy. The kids aren't real. And then I was lucky I didn't say any of that. I held it into myself. But I was that close to literally telling somebody about a story that's not even true to a well-known politician. I would have been humiliated.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so that's the kind of things, that's what I think about when I'm at work. I think about what's our next podcast going to be about. And anyway, so as you guess, you're back here with Loosely Related Podcast. To my left, my co-host, the youngest man by the Guinness Book of World Records for having 17 Bangladeshi kids, Joe.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back.
Also to my right, Guinness Book of World Record for not remembering anything, and also the grandfather of 17 Bangladeshi kids is Joe.
That's me. Hey, guys, welcome back to the show.
And our backup brain, Brian, the producer.
Hello. Backup brain, Brian.
My backup brain.
Right, Joe's backup brain.
We got to get alliteration into the little
Yeah.
That's right, a little alliteration.
Actually, it's been a while since I forgot stuff. I mean, I've been actually pretty good. I don't remember.
How do you know?
We have to go. I have to go back through the episode. Yeah, exactly.
It's been about
How would
5
I
minutes.
actually even know, right? It's probably been 5 minutes. Yeah, okay. So, I mean, it's that 5 minutes for me is a long time. So,
yeah.
You know.
So, and sitting center chair is me today. I'm Robert Hickson, and I'm joined with all the three fine gentlemen I just spoke about. And if you haven't listened to Loosely Related, it is basically a show about things that I think most people probably care about. Maybe they don't care about, and maybe they didn't know they wanted to care about it. And unlike what you see on the television and newscasts, these are just four average Joes talking about nothing in particular. We're not experts, right?
Two average Joes, Robin and Brian.
Technically.
We're not experts, but I know everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We're experts on being everyday people. And you know what? Everyday people don't get to voice their opinions that much.
Exactly.
They don't.
What's the date today?
Today is September the 29th, 2019, and this is
28th.
episode
Is it 28th?
14.
28th.
Oh,
It is the
damn it,
28th.
you got me.
You got
28th.
We're
That
all
was gonna
done.
happen.
You could be
See?
listening to this in post-edit on the 29th. No, I don't know. I'm trying to save it. If you're listening to us, it might even be October already, I guess, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
it will
would
be October.
By the time you hear this, will be October, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So today I think we're just chatting about some apps that we like, what we like about them. I think we're going to do a round robin on that. We're going to chat about, it's fall. I guess it's time to talk about pumpkin spice and what shows are coming back and what's
Apple
not
cider.
good. Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So anyway, I haven't really spoken to you guys anyway. Joe, what's going on with you?
Not too much, man. Just sort of been doing what I do. Watching a lot of different sports. I wanted to give a quick shout out to the New York Yankees. They won.
Yeah, we forgot to mention it on the last
pennant.
show. We should have mentioned it then.
You know what's funny? I think we didn't even really realize it until right after we wrapped filming last episode. The New York Yankees won the pennant. They won the AL
We got
East.
so wrapped up in
Yankees-
Daniel Jones.
Yeah,
that-
no, we were
Right,
so
exactly,
wrapped up
yeah.
in the changeover, which was
Yankees.
great.
So that was pretty sweet, man. That was the first time they won the pennant since 2012.
2012.
Yeah.
2012, which is
Turnaround.
awesome.
So we have something to root for in New York. That's
Yeah.
nice.
And we'll,
Exactly,
I'm sure
finally.
we'll cover that over the course of the episode today.
And Joey, I'm mixing you guys up now. Joe, what's going on?
else is new?
I feel weird calling Joe Joey and Joey Joe sometimes because I'm like, do you drop the Y at 30 years old? At when do
Yeah.
we drop the Y?
Yeah.
Because I
I
know
don't
when
think
people
you
at work
can.
call me Robbie, I freaking hate it.
They
I'm
call
like,
you
I'm not
Robbie?
10. No, one girl
Well-
will say, hello, Robbie. Please don't call me
Yeah,
Robbie
Rob, I
anymore.
hate-
Okay, bye, Robbie.
I've always hated when people call me Joey.
Oh,
But I'm
really?
so used
I've
to
always
calling
hated
you
it.
Joey. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Because
I thought at one point you wanted to stop.
Yeah.
No, when I
that's
was
Yeah, I know. I'm like,
exactly.
when I
it
was a
doesn't
kid,
take
they
much to
used
confuse me, though.
when I was a kid, the older boys in the neighborhood used to call me Joey, the kid from outer space, because there used to be a TV show on. Yeah, no, seriously.
Gosh, that's
There was
terrible.
a TV
That's
show.
why they
You have
called
to
you
look
that,
it up.
right?
Brian, looked it up. Joey, the
It wasn't
kid
because
from
you were
outer
a
space.
space cadet.
Yeah, well, no, I
Joey, the
probably
kid from
was
outer
just
space.
much then.
Hold
Probably
up.
even more so. I was a nutty kid.
You were
but,
probably smoking medicinal things that weren't medicinal at the time.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and I hated them calling me that because I thought they were making fun of me, but they weren't. It was just they were referring to Joey, the kid from outer space, a TV
Okay.
show, which I didn't know at the time. But I because of that, I ended
I
up
don't
hating
believe
it.
this
Oh,
is
yeah.
a TV
Don't
show.
either. What-
Is this really a show, Brian?
Joey, the kid from outer space. I'm pretty
on,
sure it was.
So going back to you, do you
show.
mind being called Joey?
No, I was. It's funny because the funniest part to me was I grew up being called Joey because like Brian just
Yeah.
said, for me, my dad was Joe, so they always had to distinguish between me and my dad. And I didn't really realize it. I just got so used to it my whole life. But then when I started, getting out and, in school and making a lot of friends, and as I got older, my friends always just called me Joe. So then it's weird because you're you're in school for 6 hours a day being called Joe, being referred to as Joe by teachers and by your friends, and you get home and you're called Joey.
Flip squad.
I'll never forget the first time my friends came over, they hear my parents calling me Joey, and they were all laughing. And I'm like, why are you guys laughing? Because I didn't even click, and they're like, they call you Joey? And I was like, oh, yeah, you guys don't know that because you only ever heard me be called Joe. And it's just like,
That's
I don't know.
interesting.
Yeah,
So I'm not finding a show.
Yeah,
called
exactly.
Joey
Thank
the Kid
you.
from Outer
Exactly.
Space.
You got it.
I didn't
You
think
called
so.
it.
All right, so
Called
maybe
it.
I did have a reason to be offended by the name.
He also was walking around with
But-
a globe around his head
may
from
have
his
been an
goldfish
accident.
tank.
Yeah, it's weird. No, they really liked me a lot. They used to tie me up to the flagpole and say that we're going to use you as our U.S. flag this week.
Yeah.
It was
It may
really
have-
great.
guys.
They were super patriotic. It was
I
great.
hope there's an app called I Just Need a Friend or Find a Friend or Grinder in your case,
There is
probably.
a Find a Friend, isn't there somewhere? There's a Find a Friend. I
right.
think it was an animated show from like the 70s. It had to be. I think
Okay.
so.
Unless
I don't
it
know.
They had
but-
animated shows in the 70s.
It didn't. I didn't find it.
all right. Well,
It was a flip book, and it was really based on it.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, you
All
were
right,
out.
all right. So let's get into it, I guess.
Yeah,
You
hell,
guys
sure.
want to
Sounds
run
good.
into it?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So we just spoke about this briefly during the week. So we didn't use any strict criteria. As far as I
Yeah.
know, the only thing we said was no gray area apps, nothing unpaid for that you shouldn't be using.
Right.
Yeah.
Not that we would ever use
Not
those.
that we would
No,
ever
like
use it.
No.
dark
Not
web.
that me and
freaking,
Rob
Yeah, always
are
jailbreak.
We
jailbreak.
spend hours talking about and watching on YouTube.
Although I completely blame Rob for getting me into it. He sucked me over to the dark side with all these great YouTubers.
That guy
that
needs to.
people
I
like.
can't even remember his name, but we should give him a shout out. Give that dude a shout
Bro,
out. He's amazing.
Dino Zambus 2. That's his full name. He's amazing. Like
Awesome.
You go into the comments section on YouTube and like people it's always like back and forth. Some people love it. That guy has the most
No haters,
love.
right?
Everyone loves him. They're always like, best YouTuber on the planet, best saving us money, saving us this, saving us that. Everyone loves that guy.
And you're like, what are you even getting at it? Because the guy like genuinely puts like real links up, not
Yeah.
like where you go to it and there's like, oh, this is fishy.
Yeah, exactly.
know
what I
No advertisers on the ad, on the app and all that shit like that. Like on like the when you go to the website and shit, it's crazy, man. I love that guy.
Yeah, no, that guy is a boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think the criteria was essentially just real quick, like the top 10. For me, it was whatever. If I delete a phone, get a new phone, these are the 10 apps that I'm almost assuredly you'll find on every phone I own.
Yeah.
And they're not even maybe my most used apps, but I'd have to have them. They're a go-to.
Yeah. Yes. Same for me.
Yeah.
That's what I did too for my
Everybody pretty much.
Yeah,
think so.
well,
That's the best way to
some
do
of the
it.
ones on my list are ones that I like a lot, and some of them are just ones that I use a lot.
That's exactly what I did. I did the same
Yeah,
thing.
so
Same
they're
thing.
not necessarily in a particular order. I kind of list them in
Okay.
order of the ones I like.
So
I
we'll go
suppose,
10
but-
down, but whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I don't care if 8 is as good as 1, whatever. Hopefully somebody gets something out of it and
Exactly.
enjoys the apps
Yeah,
that we
yeah,
like.
yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
I think so.
And hopefully we could post at least maybe 10 each would be a lot to post, but I don't know. Brian, you do the editing. Could we put maybe the links to the top few that we
That's
have each?
exactly. I'm glad you said that. That's literally I was gonna
What do you give him,
say
110
I was
links,
gonna
I mean?
say yeah. We'll do because last episode we did the whole Daniel Jones thing where we took the consensus. I was gonna say we'll figure out what apps seem to be like the most liked. Maybe I don't know. Put like a little thing on social media if you want. I mean,
Yeah, we could
whatever.
do that.
Yeah,
That sounds
All right.
cool.
And
Like
if
that.
they have something,
Oh,
hit
we can
us
do it.
back, right?
We'll do like a what do you call like a poll?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right,
That's
whatever.
good.
That's good too.
Yeah, that's good too.
Oh, we're
Whatever.
good.
Get
Like that.
get out there, Joey. Tell them where they can hit us up if
All
they want to
right.
do this.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you guys like us, like you like the episode, you like what we do here, you can find us at our website, looselyrelated.podcast.com. Once you're there, you can find our links out to. You can find us on Twitter at LR Podcast. That's POCASTS. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, Spotify. iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio.
Officially, Dad called
Yeah, it's
up the
there. I
CEO
just-
himself and
it
was like,
just happened.
"Bro,
You made it happen.
So-
he's like, this needs to happen."
It just took a while.
like,
I
oh.
was worried that they weren't accepting us for some reason,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden one day it was somebody who had watched us on iHeart, and it popped up on the
There you
analytics
go.
page.
Yeah,
so-
exactly. Well, the CEO was like, "Oh yeah, we actually shut it down. We didn't know you wanted to do it, but you'll be the only ones on there. But yeah, that's cool. It's
Yeah,
fine."
yeah.
He just opened it back up.
Yeah.
But yes, you can find us on iHeartRadio, and then of course you can find us on YouTube if you ever want to see what we look like and see all of our cool shirts that we bought for this episode.
Yeah,
Oh, we're
we got
gonna
all
be
those
talking
shirts,
about that. What's coming
Talking
back
about
this
that.
fall?
Yeah, hell yeah, Pickle
Pickle
Rick.
Rick. Shout out to Addie and the gang out there. I know they're huge Pickle Rick fans.
Yeah, I'm sure Addie and I could talk for hours.
God, she would
about
make
Rick
me
and
go
Morty.
play the crane game. Get me Pickle Rick. Get me Pickle Rick. I'm like, for obvious reasons, you see why that pickle is hard. It puts you in a pickle trying to win it.
Yeah.
Speaking
seriously.
of YouTube, thanks to Isabella for your comment. We appreciate your comments.
yes.
Oh,
And
yeah.
on YouTube, if you're watching the show, please comment. I mean, we love your feedback. Rob's getting feedback. We're all getting feedback personally, but we need the feedback on the sites. If you're going
Correct.
to watch on the site, please leave a comment or a question or anything you want. You can call us
Yeah.
names if you want. I
Are
don't
you
care.
trying to?
But yeah.
Are you trying to choke yourself with the microphone?
No, I just-
cable up there? I see you doing that. I'm like, I'm so
Yeah.
tired of this.
I will also say, if you're an audio listener, we do have a pretty active Instagram page.
Oh, yes,
it's
we do.
I
loosely
like some of them.
underscore related. If you have any ideas for topics, we'll get back to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like those
Yes.
Instagrams, Brian. They
I
were
like
funny.
that.
Yeah,
I like
they're
that.
good. They're very good if you want.
I run the
Brian's-
page. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brian's been
Brian
very
runs the
good
page.
with his, that's what
Brian
he
runs
does,
the
man.
podcast. He just,
Yeah.
it's
We're
just
actually all marionettes right now. We're just like
exactly.
being
Yeah.
pulled
He's the
by
puppet
strings.
master.
Yep.
Nothing
No.
here is real. It's
No.
This is my own. I don't get outside. This
Yeah.
is my fantasy. I need this to function.
Exactly.
To
Yeah.
All right, so let's kick it off. Brian, why don't
Yeah.
you start? You got a number 10 for us?
I do. So my number 10 is something I discovered recently. I've only used it a few times, but oh my gosh, since I don't have Siri anymore, I got an Android. Shazam has been a pretty useful app.
Ooh, what's that?
So it's literally if you go, hey Siri, what song is this? And you let her listen to it.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
this, you
Music
just
app, right?
hit a button, and in 2 seconds, like bam,
I think I've seen that commercial.
it'll
Yeah, it's
it'll
been out
tell
for a
you
while.
what the
Yeah,
song
yeah.
is. Like I think no matter like how popular,
That's
or how
kind of cool.
non-popular.
Actually,
what
you're
the
gonna have
hell?
to. You're gonna
Now,
hook me up on that.
will that link you to the song link if you also want to listen to the whole song? Or?
Well, it gives you the name, and like
Okay.
I think you get. I don't think you can hear the whole thing, but it's like
get
basically an
something free or
extended
something.
preview.
Okay.
So yeah.
But that's
Dude,
good, like if you're wandering around the mall or something, listening to music, and you're
Yes.
like, oh, I like that song. What is that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
the hell? It's
I
like a
never,
shot,
I
yeah.
never freaking know what like I'm listening to. So
Yeah.
Shazam.
I like that you have to hit a
Dude,
button, too. You know how uncool it is to be walking around and be like, Siri, what song
Yeah,
is this? And everybody's
that's the
like,
thing.
loser, this is hot. You don't know what this is.
I always feel awkward talking into my phone, but yeah,
Siri,
with
what song
Shazam,
is
you don't
this?
got to worry about that.
So this is the happy birthday song. You know, what are you talking about?
Happy birthday.
This is the national anthem.
All right, so how many people actually know the words to that, though? I've seen some fakers out there.
Christina
I
Aguilera
probably
does
could
it.
sing
Yeah,
it.
oh
Remember
my
that? That was
gosh,
so
what a horror
funny,
show.
man.
All right, Joe, you're up next. What do you got for us?
All right, so not in any particular order. One of my favorite game apps, and I haven't actually. I keep forgetting about it and I always loved playing it, but I'm just involved in so many other things. I keep forgetting about this app. But the first
Yeah.
one is Hearthstone.
Oh,
It's
a card
wow,
game,
okay.
actually.
Yeah.
Right out
That
of
is
the
a fun
gate. Those
game.
are two good shots right out of the gate.
That is good.
Yeah.
These are good, man.
Hearthstone
Hearthstone's dope.
is one of my favorite games that I play on my
Yeah,
phone.
you were into that for like a hot second.
And no,
Yeah,
for a
he got
long
me
time,
into it
and
for
I'm,
a
and
while,
I'm
yeah.
still in it, and I still like it. But
I
I
think a
haven't.
hot
I
second means a
forgot.
long time. I'm not up with the kids
Hot
lingo.
minute?
Hot
Yeah, I don't
second.
know.
Brian, look up what a hot minute means. Like,
Yeah,
the,
it's gonna-
like,
A hot
like
second,
we,
hot minute.
we had
Yeah, I
that
know.
whole segment on the
Yeah.
young
Hey,
kids. phrases.
Siri.
We don't know what the words are.
A hot
Hey
minute?
Siri,
A
what does hot
minute? You know what I'm
minute
saying? Like
mean?
if someone says, "Bro, I was in there like a hot minute, bro."
Isn't that like
This on the web for Hey Siri, what does hot minute mean? Check it out.
All right, whatever.
All right,
got
now
it.
we know who's walking around the mall going, Siri, what song is this? Siri,
we
why
know
can't I
why
find
Siri-
friends?
I don't use Siri. I hate Siri.
Siri, shut Grindr off. Shut it off.
So we just
Stop. It means very quickly or at once, according
so
to Urban
just for a minute.
Dictionary, but Urban Dictionary.
Urban
is-
Dictionary.
All right,
Well,
so
that's
there you
almost
go.
as good as
So I
Merriam-Webster.
completely misused that. That's how
All
old
right.
I'm getting. All right.
That's where they're getting SAT vocab for now, from the Urban Dictionary.
yeah.
All right.
An
All right,
extremely
so,
short period of time.
All right, so
I don't know.
Hearthstone.
Yeah, so no.
So
for
Hearthstone,
me,
that's good.
I've been
And-
playing Hearthstone since my son Matthew.
And that's
turned
a
me
basic
onto
card
it,
game,
and I've
right?
always, it's a fun strategic card game where you collect cards. It is of course. It's a pay per win sort of game, but not
So
really.
you
so
buy
much.
better cards, right? Or you gotta grind it out
But
if
you,
you don't
but
want
you don't
to.
really have to in that
You don't
particular
have to.
because as you do better and better, you get more and more card packs and
Sure.
stuff, and you could just rely on those. You don't really have to spend any money on it.
And that's
I don't
probably
think I ever
cross-platform, right?
iOS
iOS too?
So,
You can play it
mean
on
as
your
far as-
Apple phone?
Yes, you can
Right,
play
you
it.
can definitely play it on
You can
Android.
play
Okay.
on,
Oh,
on
yeah, for sure.
Android app.
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
play it on
Good.
on a desktop or a laptop.
Okay,
too.
so that's dope.
It's based on World of Warcraft. It's the World of Warcraft
Yeah,
universe.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's hugely
It's Blizzard.
popular.
I mean, Blizzard's
Blizzard,
awesome. I love
Blizzard.
Blizzard.
They
if
have
you
their own
want-
con, Blizzard.
and if you don't-
BlizzCon.
BlizzCon.
If you don't want to know anything about the Hearthstone, if you want, you can watch the episode of South Park, the Hearthstone episode. I think it's
Well,
World
that
of
episode of World of Warcraft.
World
That
of
might
Warcraft
be-
episode is one of the funniest
That's
episodes.
probably my
on-
favorite episode of South Park ever.
Yeah,
That's probably my favorite one.
it's so funny.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
All right.
It's amazing.
All right, we're going to move on. My top 10, number 10, coming in at 10 is Android Auto. What I like about it is the integration to the automobile. Essentially, if you like the way Android looks, if you're an Android fan and you want to just take your phone and put it right into your head unit, basically, you know, that's ostensibly what it is, then that's an app for you. It's seamless integration. The only problem is it's not ubiquitous yet because there are some manufacturers, like, I don't know, but let's say like Ford might not have it. They might have their own UI or whatever, but you can even then get an aftermarket head unit, and it has become more popular. Like a lot of Hyundais have them. Actually,
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
Ford does have
You
them.
do see a
It's
lot
being,
of Hondas.
it's being built into
Yeah.
cars now.
It really is,
Yeah.
and I don't know. I really like it, so that's my 10. Joey, what you got?
All right, cool. So my number 10 is a lot of my apps are like based on like things that I really like and I use a lot, but also mostly just based on like how much I like it and then how often I use it. So that's the first category. Like so we always talk about I love top 10 lists. That's why I was so excited when Rob did this. Anything that's a top 10 list,
Joey
I
loves
love.
a top
I know, I
10
do like
making
to
lists.
list,
I love
too.
making
And the
lists.
thing, too, is
it doesn't matter what it
Joey
is.
will memorize his top 10.
Yeah.
Like literally, you
Yeah.
can ask him if you see him walking down the street one day. Hey Joey, what's your top 10 favorite zoo animals? And he'll have he'll know. He'll give you his
The
top 10
sloth
favorites.
is,
his
pretty good.
favorite
Comes out
zoo
at
animals.
8.
Comes in it, yeah. It's pretty
And
great.
if he doesn't, we'll have to do an episode on top 10 zoo
Yeah.
animals.
We love top
But it's
10,
funny.
man.
All of my lists have like criteria. Like I have to have a certain criteria for it. Like my top 10 movies of all time. I have a separate list for like the top 10 movies that I think like are worthy of being considered. Just like objectively the 10 best movies of all time.
Right.
And then I have my personal top 10 favorite movies of all time list that I have too.
Yeah.
But anyway, so number 10 for me is Twitch, the Twitch
Okay.
app. I love Twitch a lot. I don't use it as
Yeah.
much as I used to. I used to use it a lot more, but every now and then I'll go on there. I watch a lot of the gaming companies that I watch, like Bungie, Activision. They'll do their live stream reveals. Like Bungie always does it for Destiny, and I've watched almost every single one, and I'll always be on my phone using that. I love that, just being able to take part in that kind of a
So
live
they have
stream event.
just a phone app too, and like how
Yeah.
does that work? What does it do for you?
So basically, like for example, for the Bungie one, right? You log in with your Twitch account, and basically, Bungie will say we're going live at 2 p.m. to announce the reveal of Shadowkeep. It's the upcoming expansion. It was literally
Okay.
actually 2 weeks ago. I was just on it.
So this is good for like
And-
gamers. And
Yeah, it's good
Yeah,
for
it's
gamers.
mostly
It's
for
good for.
gamers,
I mean,
gamers
it's
streaming.
I mean, Brian even watches a lot of Twitch. Like, I mean,
little
Twitch
bit,
is
yeah.
kind of expanding now into
No.
like other things too.
Yeah.
It's getting good for podcasts. A lot of
Oh, okay.
podcasters are doing a lot of live
So
streaming
has it
now.
become more like YouTube?
It's becoming a lot of YouTube, but it's like YouTube Live. I think is just not as popular. Like Twitch is
No,
kind of
not
the
at all.
OG. Twitch has been
So
around.
Twitch
for a
is
while.
for live stuff.
Live,
Yeah,
for live
No,
streaming.
like live streaming.
So like if
Yeah.
you wanted to watch something that happened already, then YouTube, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
I mean,
Okay, I wasn't
you
sure.
could probably, I should have clarified. Yeah, no, you can go into the, like any channel will have their archived videos on there, so you can watch it.
Okay.
But mostly, like if like for example, Angry Joe's a big YouTuber. He always does live streams for like the betas.
You're
Joe's
Angry
really-
Joe. We have like 3 Angry Joes in
Angry
this
Joes.
house
Yeah,
at
we
any
do.
given time.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
do.
But that's
And,
All right, so
all right,
Twitch.
so that
And
speaking of
just so I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead, Joe.
Speaking of Twitch, if you like watching live streaming videos, you can check out GMF Alpha Badger.
GF
Oh,
no,
GFM
I think it's,
Alpha
No, it's
Badger.
oh my god, is it X Alpha Badger? Is it GFM Alpha Badger?
It's
I don't know.
GF
how
I think
to-
it is.
I think it's GFM. Alpha
GFM
Badger.
Alpha Badger.
Yeah, you're right, you're right.
He streams
a lot of God
lot
of
of different.
War. I think he's currently in the
he's-
God of War series right
Yeah, a
now.
little
Yeah,
bit.
so he's very
You
Even
gotta
good
get
and he'd be
more
fun.
consistent with that.
More
though.
consistent.
I think
man.
even he just stopped watching
busy.
this show after we just butchered that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
he's busy with.
Please keep giving us
lot of
feedback,
things,
GFM.
Yeah,
Yeah.
seriously.
Please.
But just a quick mention. I think this is really interesting right now. So you have an Android too, Brian?
Yeah, I have an Android.
And you're Apple,
I'm
and you're
Apple.
Apple.
Not
Yeah,
for
we
long,
got-
hopefully.
But just saying, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Today we should be doing apps. So this gives you a good cross
good
view.
point.
There's
Right,
2 of
yeah,
us using
yeah.
Android, 2 of us using iOS.
Yes, yes.
So
Right.
that's even better. All
Yeah,
right,
for
Brian,
sure.
you're up with number 9.
Okay, number 9 is actually so I have 3 games on mine, and this is the first one. It's a game called Town of Salem.
Okay.
Okay.
I haven't played it in a while, but it's essentially you've heard of Mafia, you've heard of Werewolf. How it works is that you're basically a settler in the town of Salem, and you have to find out who the Mafia are.
Oh,
and
okay.
so every night, like the mafia are killing people, and you get a different role. Like sometimes it'll be the jester. The jester's goal
Oh,
is to
cool.
just
It's
to
like
get
one night-
hanged.
Yeah, it's
So
like one
every
night
day
will.
the town picks somebody to hang.
Oh, cool.
my God. That's
And
weird.
yeah, it's crazy. You can,
Is that a free to play or
yeah?
free to play?
I haven't spent a cent. to
Okay.
play
Nice.
it, yeah.
Holy
Nice.
shit.
And it's really fun. It's addicting.
That's
and
cool.
you can play with your friends.
Yeah.
I think it actually is
I
cross-platform.
never heard that,
so
so
you
I'll
can
check
play
that
on
out.
you can play on PC and like iOS, and
Okay.
you can play together.
That's
All
freaking
right.
sweet.
Oh, okay,
Holy
that's
shit.
awesome.
That is. Cool.
I do like things like that. You can play
Cross-platform's the best.
cross-platform is where it's at.
I mean, you can't play on console, but
Yeah.
Yeah. Joe?
Again, mine aren't in necessarily 1 to 10 order. They're just ones that I use a lot. So this one I use a lot. I use it every single day. iHeartRadio.
Okay.
There you
I
go.
listen to my music mostly on
You and the
it. I don't
CEO,
listen
my
to my
I feel like this is a whistler. The call, the whistle call, whatever, the whistleblower call. It's like
Whistleblower.
I didn't necessarily hold this out on iHeart, but now all of a sudden we're published on iHeart, and
So
now,
now
this
we
is
have
your
to
favorite
mention
app.
it. Yeah,
Now
okay.
all of a
No,
sudden,
it actually
right?
is my favorite. That's why I kept pushing to get on it because
Yeah.
I always liked it. So I'm happy that we're on it, and now I can I can listen to my podcast on it if I want to.
Now is iHeart free or does that pay?
It's there's a free
Version.
version, but you get
A lot of
commercials.
ads.
Not a lot of ads really. They'll run
so
an
kind
ad
of like
while you-
Spotify.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Spotify.
Can you skip tracks if you're using the free?
You can
or-
only skip if you do.
5.
You can only skip 6.
So many.
6
Okay.
skips, and then you can't skip anymore
For
for
like an hour or
24
so.
hours.
Oh, 24 hours. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Use those 6 skips wisely.
yeah, exactly.
I guess I could sit through old McDonald again.
Yeah, but they usually have pretty
All
good
right.
when you start your your selection of radio.
I've
like,
never used
it's
iHeartRadio, but I
usually
hear it's pretty good.
It is good. I've tried them against other ones like Spotify, and I think iHeart has it better. When you pick a radio station like Coldplay Radio, they'll only play like 1 or 2 the first 2 songs, and then they'll start playing genre songs and then they'll come back to Coldplay during that.
Yeah.
But their choice of songs in those genres are really good.
Yeah.
90% of the time, they're really good. Sometimes it's like, why are they?
Well, the whole
playing
thing is
this?
like iHeartRadio is a radio station. Like, isn't it like a
I think
regular
that's
radio
it,
it's a
yeah.
station?
streaming.
So
It's a
they just basically.
streaming radio site.
No, but I'm saying, but like iHeartRadio, isn't that like an actual like FM station?
No.
Isn't it like-
I
No,
don't think so.
no.
I
It's
thought
just
it
in
was.
the- nope,
It's not.
No, I don't think
There's
so.
no. Okay.
But I think it's a radio station, as in the template they use.
But
Yeah,
I always
It's like
think
radio.
Right.
I always think of the Saturday Night Live episode
could be
where
wrong
they
with
had Bruno
Bruno Mars
Mars
doing
on,
the thing
and
on-
he was the one doing the songs for,
Yeah.
and the guys
For
being
the
on the
radio thing?
stations, and they're trying
It's
to
pretty
like.
funny.
People are, he was doing the songs himself. Bruno Mars was doing all the imitations. He did Michael Jackson. He did all these different
Okay.
songs. And every time they switched, they were making, why did they switch off a Michael Jackson song? It was hysterical.
I'll have
If
to
you can
check
pull
that
that
out.
one up on YouTube, it's really, really funny.
It is a good one.
All
All
right,
right, Robert.
So my number 8 is. I'm sorry, number 9.
9.
I think this is actually really interesting because you're already seeing a difference in between the type of apps we're naming
Yeah,
right now.
yeah.
Like
Right.
I went heavy on productivity apps because that's kind of what I use a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
But my number 9 is Credit Karma. It's a finance app.
Oh.
I really, really love it. It's absolutely free. It provides you with 2 of the 3 major credit bureaus, which are TransUnion and Equifax. I used it for years. I've never had a problem. When I first used to use it, I was afraid like I'd get hacked or something because it does ask you for sensitive information. It
Yeah.
has your social security. I mean, it needs that info in order
Well,
to track.
Equifax got hacked,
Right.
yeah.
Right, exactly. So you're never protected
Yeah.
fully anyway. But
Right.
here's the important thing to know. It gives you a ballpark of what your score is. And the
It-
reason I
it-
know this is for a fact, it can be off. I'm not
A
sure
lot.
by how much, but I would say as many as 25 points
Yeah,
probably.
yeah.
I went recently to a Hyundai dealership, and my Credit Karma number was a good amount off from what they had
Yeah.
for me.
Oh no
Oh, yeah.
shit. Okay.
So,
No,
but
it's-
what I learned is there's a hierarchy of like credibility when it comes to actual credit scoring, and the FICO's ones are the best, but they go up to like 9 levels supposedly, and a FICO number 9, whatever, is the most accurate. But apparently, you can't even get it. Only like mortgage lenders can get that.
Really.
Is it
But-
true that Credit Karma doesn't lower your score to check it?
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
What do you
None of
mean?
them do.
No, right. So they're all soft, right? And it gives
There's
you
no impact.
weekly updates. So I get my number every week, and it is accurate in that every time I missed a payment or something, it was on there.
All right, but here's the
So it
thing
was
with
good.
those.
Yeah.
I have 2 different banking apps that I use. My credit union app and Bank of America. They both have an option to check your credit
score.
score, and it's
Yeah.
FICO's credit score. It actually gives it to you for free. You can check it.
Yeah.
Right.
Now the FICO scores update once a quarter. Every quarter it updates. So if you check it in January and then you check it in February, it's going to be the same. It's not going to change. It won't change until the quarter's up. So they update it every quarter of the year.
Right.
And it is, like you said, the Credit Karma. I've checked it against Credit Karma. Credit Karma, for some reason, I think they always seem to list it higher than
They
it actually
have an
is.
algorithm of how they
But
come
it's
up with
not.
your.
It's not accurate.
No,
It's not accurate. It's not the true.
No, I would say,
number.
but it's good for an estimate, and it
Yeah.
gives you two different sites. But I think the benefit of it isn't necessarily just the score itself. The benefit for me, at least, is that it's very accurate in keeping up on what your payments are.
Right.
If they're connected to your bank, they know.
It's also good
Yeah.
for maintaining if like your identity gets stolen, cards get stolen.
Yeah,
all
right.
of a sudden, you're looking at your card. I'll say, wait a minute,
Yeah, you
I have
get
a
warnings that
loan,
way, too.
$25,000 loan
Right.
for a condo in Bangladesh. I mean,
Exactly.
for me, I wouldn't
That
be
makes
as worried
sense for you.
about it
That
'cause one
bears
of my
that
kids-
bears out.
Condo,
Yeah, if one
right.
of my kids
That
steals
condo.
my credit card
Right.
and they run off,
You
back
know
to
what's-
Bangladesh,
you know
I
what's going on.
Well, I'll have my friend check in on that when he goes to Bangladesh. For
Yeah,
you.
there you go. Do that for me,
But
please.
I will say the two downsides, as Joe and I both alluded to, it is definitely not that accurate. And the other thing is, the reason it's free is because they partner with credit cards. They
Yeah.
offer you ones that will be in your wheelhouse, in that if you're a low score, it'll tell you right up front, yes, you will qualify, guaranteed, for this
Yeah.
credit card.
Right.
That's dope.
But when you do, they get a big kickback. That's how they make their money.
Yeah,
off
of
it.
course.
Yeah,
But
they-
I
so
mean,
they
just don't
suck
take
you
your
in
credit
on
cards.
those
I've
things,
never
so-
used it.
Yeah.
yeah.
But all right, let's move on. Go ahead, Joe. What you
All right.
got?
So my number 8, or I'm sorry, number 9 app that I use a lot, and this is again one of my favorites, is I use the ESPN app.
Okay.
So now I subscribe to ESPN Plus, which is $5 a month for $4.99 a month. So you can watch live games on there anytime they have Monday Night Football. I'm always watching it either on my phone. I'm laying in bed watching the game on my phone, or I'm even on the computer watching it. The other big thing, though, that I love it for, I love the ESPN app for, when you subscribe to ESPN Plus, you get access to all the entire 30 for 30s. All the
that's
ESPN 30
kinda
for 30
nice.
documentaries.
That's pretty cool.
And I freaking love those. I love the 30 for 30 documentaries. I've seen like probably almost all of them, and I'm always watching them on my
Yeah,
phone.
you are
So,
mentioning those a lot.
love those.
Question: have you ever seen the one with the guy Chris Herron?
Chris Herron, which one is that one?
He was a player that was going into the NBA, but he had a lot of problems with like drugs.
the drugs, yeah.
Yeah, he actually
That's-
he spoke at my high school.
Oh, really?
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
yeah. That's awesome. I have seen that one. Yeah, yeah. He, like,
Which
isn't
one was
that,
it? Who was
is
it?
that the one where it's playing for the mob? No.
No, so he-
Oh, I remember that's a different
He
one.
went.
I'm sorry.
He got started at
I know which one
Boston
you're talking
College,
about,
and
yeah.
then he got drafted by the Celtics.
He was
and-
good.
Yeah, he was like he was a really good point guard, but
Yeah.
I think he was with. It might have been the
drug
Nuggets. He had a good year with the Nuggets because they were keeping up on him. He was staying clean, and then he went like really hardcore down. He got like involved with
that's
oxycodone.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
Unguarded is the one. Unguarded is the.
I think it
33.
was unguarded.
Yep.
And yeah, so
What's
he
that player? What's that?
Chris Herron.
He,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
he got released from basketball because he couldn't
I'm still on him.
stay clean, and he's since like bettered himself, and now he speaks at like high schools and
That's
stuff.
awesome,
So he came
yeah.
to speak at my school.
There you
He's
go.
a hardcore guy.
He is,
Yeah.
yeah, I believe it. But yeah, that's my number 9.
When you said that ESPN Plus, I was like,
Yeah.
is that plus or plus plus?
Oh,
What kind of pluses you got on there? Shout out to that Dino, whatever.
yeah, I know.
Plus,
man.
plus.
The only reason why I even do it is honestly for 30 by 30. That's the only reason why I do it. Is I love it.
I'm
for
not
that.
saying anything. I just said, was
the
that
other
plus
thing is
or
I
plus?
forgot about this. The other reason why I pay for it, I can't believe I forgot is because I get to watch all the UFC fights now because now they have a partnership.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I get to watch.
So even like the pay-per-view ones?
not the pay-per-view ones, but they only do a pay-per-view in the UFC once a month usually.
Okay.
But they now do one every single Saturday, so they'll do ESPN Fight Night cards, and
Okay.
that's just
Yeah,
the
yeah.
ESPN Plus. Yeah,
Okay.
which is pretty cool. So
That
yeah.
is cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Brian, you're up.
Okay, number 8. So for me, this is one I literally changed last second because I just literally got remembered of it when Joe mentioned Hearthstone. This is an app called Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links.
Okay.
All right.
And I
Really?
this is another one I haven't played in a while, but
flashbacks to Yu-Gi-Oh! Addiction.
oh my gosh, I loved it. But this one was actually really cool because it was like not at all pay to win.
Yeah.
And I remember going for the longest time, like being able to get like really cool cards, like the iconic ones, and like upgrading my characters. You get a whole bunch of characters, and like they have their own custom decks you can make. And it's really fun. It's not, it's not like completely unbalanced. Like I know there was Yu-Gi-Oh games like Yu-Gi-Oh 5Ds. I played Decade Duels that was like ridiculously hard, just precedently. Like you can't even get through like the one mode they have. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
This is a pretty good balanced game. It's not pay to win, and you can get all the classic cards and like even like newer cards with the different generations. They were constantly having events. You're constantly getting the gems or the currency. They give out gems a lot. It's a
Yeah.
great game.
That's awesome.
That sounds good. I'm going to check that one out.
So now there's 2 card games out there, right?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
one and
I don't know how it
Hearthstone.
is now though because I haven't played it in a while.
Okay.
I'll have to check that one out.
All right, Joe.
So-
What you got?
Anyway, so my next one on here is Pornhub. No, that's not. Supposed, no, that's not supposed to be on
That's
there.
3. That's
I
number
forgot
3.
about
Sorry.
that one. Never mind. Forget I said that. My next one is actually YouTube. I know that one is pretty popular. Everyone uses YouTube, but
That's okay.
I'm sucked into YouTube now. I have an app on my smart TV upstairs. I have Amazon, Netflix, YouTube, and Hulu. I think are the 4 buttons. I'm always hitting that YouTube button and just getting
going down those YouTube holes, right? Yeah, it's easy to get sucked into that.
No, I really
vortex.
do. Yeah, and I enjoy it. It is good. It's good.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. My number 8 is IFTTT, and for uninitiated, that is if this then that. It's a automation tool, and I think Joe would really. I think you would really like this, Joe.
Really?
It has a ton of robust features. It's an app is web based originally, but it has the apps for iOS and for Android. And like what it basically is a conditional statement. So if you put in, for example, you set up a quick statement like anytime Brian's Instagram post goes up for our show, it'll automatically link an email to you. So the input is Instagram that I liked. Every time I like that, the output is send that to my email.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So you could do that on any of the platforms. But if you use the app, and you can get, this is another thing, you can just get carried away with it. I used to be so addicted to it for a while.
Yeah.
But especially, I know you like home automation, right? We all kind of are into that to some degree.
Yeah.
Like, I love the lock you have on your door is awesome. You're into the Alexa.
Yep.
That would work great with If This and That, the app, because what you could do there, you could do, like, based on location settings, you could set your GPS up, right? You could say at a certain time, or you could set it so it knows the coordinates, right? So do your GPS coordinates. This is whatever lat, whatever long. Anytime my phone is not here, it knows you left.
Right.
It'll automatically shut your door, turn your Wi-Fi off, turn your Bluetooth on for your car. When you come back, it'll sense it, turn your Bluetooth back on or off, and turn your Wi-Fi back on, open your door.
Wow, cool.
And you could set it up. And there's other ones called Tasker. There's another one called Automate. Some of them are a little like hard to get into. They're like they're a little complicated.
Yeah.
Tasker is a nice one where if you just want to dip your toe in and check it, it makes it pretty easy to figure out, and it's a lot of fun.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Awesome,
All right.
man. That's
So
pretty
that
cool.
was our number 8.
All right, nice. Number 3 for me. Number 7. God, number 8. All right. Anyway, that's gonna be it for me today. Numbers. All right. No. So number 8 for me is gonna be the Xbox app. I use that a lot.
Oh yeah.
I don't play Xbox as much, but the thing is now everything is becoming so cross-platform now. So I had kind of fallen off of it when I started playing a lot of PC games, but now everything is coming cross-platform again. You got Gears of War is cross-platform. Call of Duty Modern Warfare is coming out. That's going to be cross-platform. So now on the Xbox app, I can kind of maintain. I can see who's on. I can message people on the app if I see somebody's online. You can join somebody from the app. Like you can actually join parties now from the
That's
app
kind of
if they're
cool.
online.
Yeah.
Which is pretty
Is
cool.
that the one I showed you? Did I show you that one? Because
that would be weird for you to show me
No,
an
no.
Xbox app.
No,
but
because
okay.
Joe
thought
loves
that-
doing credit.
Not-
You're so right. He
I
loves
thought
that.
that- I
Didn't I
could-
talk about this 5 years ago? Remember that restaurant? You went to that restaurant? I told you about that
Yeah,
restaurant?
He does love that shit.
He loves that shit.
Well,
The Xbox that I've been using since I got my Xbox, but anyway, I think.
Didn't I tell you about Xbox?
You're completely. I know what you're thinking of. You're completely off base.
All
You're
right,
thinking
maybe
of
it's something else
No,
that-
you and me were at Best Buy one day.
Right.
There was some
Didn't I
guy
tell you
there
about
who
that
was
store,
like,
Best Buy?
But there was this guy there who was like helping us out, and I was like pulling up the Xbox, and they said, "Oh, hey, by the way, you know that you can join parties now from the app." And he showed us in front of us.
Oh,
That
maybe
whole
that's
thing.
what it was.
I was like,
All
"Oh,
right.
that was
That's
me.
right.
That was
That's
me.
right.
I was the
no,
Indian guy who
That's
helped
why I
you."
knew there was. I knew there was a connection somewhere. All right.
All right,
that's
so
fine.
you were
So
there.
that
Okay,
was
so
the
that's
Xbox
cool.
app. All right,
All
so
right.
there you go.
Brian, back to you.
Okay. Number 7. This is the one dating app I've ever liked using in my life. It's called Hinge.
Okay.
And it's good because I don't know, there's just something about it where like the profiles are a lot more good. Like they're better. Like you can actually like look at a profile and get kind of a sense of like how that person is. Like they have prompts where you can like fill out and it'll like, it'll be like, I don't know, like freaking, what is something you'd like to know about me before like our first date or something? And you write that in and like there's some answers, you put your photos, you can caption your photos and give a little bit of backstory. So it's more customizable with the profiles and yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's better.
All right, cool.
Okay,
man.
so that's pretty interesting. There was a time like nobody would even talk about dating apps. It was like
It was like
taboo, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now it's like so like ubiquitous and
Yeah.
commonplace. Everybody uses it.
I was taboo for me because I didn't want my wife. I wouldn't talk about it because I didn't want my
Right.
wife knowing I was.
You didn't want her to know about the Pornhub app.
Yeah, or the Pornhub app, or the dating
is there
app.
even
Either
a
one.
freaking app for that?
Grinder.
Yeah.
Brian, what were we at? That was number 7 for you?
That was 7 for me. Yeah.
All right, Joe, you're up with your number 7.
All right, so this is one I use. It's seasonal, really, more than anything, but I love it. It's really not seasonal. I have it on my phone. I keep my notifications on, but it's SleeperBot, and I've mentioned it on
Okay.
the show many times.
We
It's-
all have that now.
To me, it's the greatest NFL fantasy football app there is. There's nothing. It's second to none, in my opinion. It gives you instant information on stuff faster than anything else. The platforms for the fantasy is amazing. Brian's joining us. Take Joey's spot for a second. And they're not sponsored, and I wish they were sponsored. Maybe someday they will be. But
Hashtag non-sponsored.
hashtag not sponsored. But they're a great fantasy football app. Way better than the NFL.com app.
I do like the push notifications because they're like up to the second with that crap.
Oh, they're just like amazing.
They're
how
really
fast
good,
it
yeah.
is. Like you're on top of everything,
Huh.
and you need that in fantasy
Duck.
football. Brian,
he didn't-
you had
okay.
you heard your 30 seconds of fame,
My
Brian.
15 seconds before I got to
right.
be on.
I was like, do we go to a break and we're in the middle of number
Nah.
7? Nah, we're
I'll
good.
just-
We'll
I'll
just
just
keep it
take this.
going. I was going to tell Joe, I was going to, Duck, but I'm just going to say that super loud as he goes by. It doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense.
If you're listening on audio, basically, we just had someone step out for a bathroom break. No big
Yeah.
deal. And then I hijacked the third seat.
I think his grinder just went off.
And then I've got to turn my mic back
He
on.
swiped left or I don't even know what it is. I'm like swipes. I don't even know what
Went
the
to
hell
the
I'm talking
bathroom
about.
to use Grinder.
Yeah, exactly.
All
That's what
right.
it was.
We always forget
Wait,
that
is it my
this-
turn already?
So
No,
no,
we
number
always-
7. Just to recap real quick, Brian was a dating app called Hinge.
Hinge, yeah.
Oh, Hinge.
Use it.
Oh yeah. Me and Brian were talking about this
Yeah.
recently.
It's
at
like
the Yankee
tolerable.
Game. Yeah, you were
Yeah.
telling me that. I meant to text you the other day and ask you about it.
And then
But yeah.
Joe's number 7 was SleeperBot.
Oh, nice.
And my number 7 is Macari. Macari is one of several
I've heard of
online
Macari.
sales apps like Facebook Marketplace, Poshmark, eBay,
I've heard about
Craigslist.
those too.
But what I really like about Macari is like I don't like to spend a lot of time like posting and I'm just lazy. I'll
And
be honest. I have
using
so
your
many
brain.
other right.
Using the brain.
I have like 6 brain cells left. I almost told a politician about Bangladeshi kids and that aren't real.
That is so
I don't
freaking
like it.
funny,
And the
man.
I don't like-
20,000
I wish you
porcupines
did
or however
that.
many we
Yeah.
have.
Right. I was like, oh my god, I
You ever,
like was so
start-
close to having that
You ever
come out
like
of my
start
mouth.
telling a story and halfway you're like, oh, I shouldn't like be telling this story to anyone, let alone the person I'm telling it to.
You
right
know how
now.
Right.
often I've actually seen your dad do that in real life? That it's actually occurred. I'm like, he's
like-
gonna do it.
he's gonna-
It's
he's-
it's happening right now.
he's not
Before
gonna-
we're gonna go back and tell one of those stories. There's a funny story about
Oh,
that.
yeah.
So, but Macari, what I really like about it is the it's so easy to post. I mean, they all say, "Oh, it's so easy to post." This is like literally, you can take up your phone, take a picture of Joe's old glasses here, and be like, glasses,
These are brand new glasses.
slightly ancient.
No, they're brand new. They
Looking
were
for
from
whatever
the dollar
price,
store.
and it's very easy to talk back and forth. And as soon as what I like about it, as soon as they send the money, it'll be in holding. Macari will hold it for them and make sure that the exchange goes through properly.
Okay.
So, oh my god,
Another
what is
bathroom
happening?
break. You know what it is? It's the coffee.
Yeah.
It's the coffee, and it's
I
the fact
finished
that
mine. I coulda got more.
We're both texting the same person on
What?
Grindr, which he's
It's
trying
getting
to
out of
figure
control
out which
right now. I
one.
think
Yeah,
it's
the whole
getting
thing.
a little
I got a
crazy.
lot to
bit
do
like
this
that.
week.
There you
Okay.
go. Look at Brian. Brian's getting on camera again. Look at that.
All right, so anyway, so that's Macari. If you
Cool,
have any
man.
inclination to try to even to buy, not even just to sell, it's just a great app. Check it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
All right, that's dope.
All right,
I like
number
that.
7 for Joey.
All right, number 7 for me is definitely going to have to be Spotify. I use Spotify a lot. I don't use it as much as I did because now, I've gotten really into podcasts now, and I'm going to mention another app that has completely overtaken that. But also, even for music now, I did sign up for, so the Spotify free is okay, but it's like, it really is so limited. Like, my dad is right
limited.
about the iHeartRadio
Right.
thing with the Spotify. You can't choose songs,
Those
you can't do
skips
anything.
It's so annoying.
And
And
then
I was
of
just
course-
thinking in the
yeah.
car today. It was like, ugh.
Yeah, and then it's $10 a month, right, for like the membership.
Seriously.
Yeah, $10 a month for Spotify Premium.
Okay.
So what I did do was, because I'm back in school now, I'm a student. I signed up
You get a
for
discount?
The student version.
the
yeah.
student version of Apple Music.
Oh.
Oh, Apple
which is-
Music.
that's
Okay.
another- spoiler alert for my other one. That I
Okay, so we'll
mentioned.
come back to that,
But
I
anyway,
guess. So it's
so-
Spotify slash
so
something
Spotify
else.
has fallen. I
Yeah.
still use it every now
All
and
right,
then.
so what did you? That's your
But,
number 7.
That's my number 7. That's my number. Is Spotify? Yeah.
All right. So right before we get back to our last 6, we're just going to take a quick break, and
Yeah.
we'll be
Yeah,
why
back
not,
after
you know?
this.
All right. Sounds good. Take a little break.
See you guys.
Okay, and we're back. We're going to finish up with our last 6 of our top 10s.
Ew.
And I think we are starting off with Brian.
Oh, all right. So this is 6.
This is
6.
numero 6. Oh.
Everyone's gonna know
Sorry,
this
that's
one.
Spanish.
Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
All right.
That's my 6th one. I still use it to this day.
Do you still go out and capture stuff?
Not really. I was using it more for Adventure Sync because I jog all the time,
Ooh,
every
nice.
other day. So like I was using that to kind of track the kilometers. Kilometers.
I
I
of
know what
kilometers.
Pokemon Go is. What's jog?
What's
What's jogging? It's
it
been so long.
It is.
My muscles are atrophied.
You use your legs and you go fast.
I think that's the part of
Something
that
like
the
that.
Americans are like, what? What is jog?
jog?
I invented it today.
Yeah.
So they have this new thing, Adventure Sync, where if you don't know, if you haven't played in a while, it's this thing where for however long you walk, jog, whatever, the distances you go, you get rewarded with Pokeballs and maybe eggs and like stuff,
that's cool.
in-game stuff.
Yeah.
So I would do that, and I do sometimes catch stuff. I rarely do gym battles, but it's a fun game. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were
great.
saying not that long ago. Anybody who can get a bunch of turd nuggets out there, all of us were. I was out there like,
Dude, I was
Yeah.
out there.
I was freaking out when the first time.
Yeah.
I know we
Yeah.
talked about the Times Square thing, but I did something similar. We went down to go see a play. It was me, my wife, and we were almost late to the play because I was like, no, one more thing because you don't see crap around here.
Yeah,
We're in the middle of Times
don't
Square.
see-
They got the
Oh,
biggest
it's-
Pokemon ever. I'm
Oh
like,
my
oh my
gosh,
god.
Yeah.
I got nothing near me.
Yeah.
Joey? Didn't you one time like spoof to Dubai?
Yes.
And you got
I got
banned. Yeah, you
so
got
I
banned.
bought like this.
I gotcha.
Yeah, because like obviously I can't be out of my house for that long. I mean, like,
Yeah.
all right, let's be a little realistic. I'm
The
still a
sun
hermit.
is very
The
harsh.
sun is at a certain point my legs can only walk so much.
And when you make it to Dubai in a 2-minute time span, I think
Dude,
they know you're spoofing.
It was so funny. So I downloaded the spoof app and I literally went to Dubai. And Matt's like, just don't ever travel be outside of an hour radius. And I said, well, I went to Dubai. and then I got
And
banned
immediately got banned.
and then they
Yeah,
were
yeah.
like, goodbye.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Okay, Joe, you're up.
All right, so my next one is kind of boring, so I'm going to skip it because I have other ones I'll add to it because everyone uses that and everyone's going to know it. So
What about
I-
YouTube? Everyone knows that.
Well-
yeah, no, they're just.
Well, yeah,
dude,
but
we're
that's
gonna
a
have
good
a lot
one.
of the
I
same
like that. It's
ones.
a little
All
bit
right,
more
go ahead. Do
interesting.
whatever you
So, this is another one that probably a lot of people use, and if you don't, you definitely should. It's Waze. It's a navigation GPS
Well, Waze
app.
is awesome.
There you go.
It's
I love
a,
Waze.
It's a great navigation app, and I should have been using it years ago. People told me about it. It's a
What else is new?
yeah, but I think it's even more. It gets better and better.
Joe,
every
you
year
should
because-
check out this electricity.
Yeah.
I'm
heard
holding
about-
out. I'm holding out. Oh, this electricity is awesome.
Well,
I can see in the dark.
I had used Waze when it first came out years ago. I used it. I looked it up, found it, and it wasn't as user interactive as it was when.
No,
of
it's
course, when
gotten
it first
better.
came out.
It's gotten
Yeah.
better.
But now
Much
a lot
better.
more people use it, and the
Right.
thing that makes it so great is that when you're driving, it's not only a navigation app, but it gives you warnings about
That's what's
cops and locations, and it's
Cars,
because there's
right.
so many people
Stop cars.
that use it now. You know where most of the time, if there's a cop warning, it's usually there's a cop there. Not all the time. It's not 100%.
No, yeah, I find
but there's
it.
a times, most of the times the cops are there, so it
Yeah.
gives you a heads up when there's cops or deer or animals or potholes or
They haven't caught up
all
with the
traffic stuff.
like serial killers though. Like
No.
I still see. I've picked up a few. I wish they would.
Well, we could develop
would
that.
get on
Serial
that.
killer
Yeah.
here.
we could,
Yeah.
we could do
Oh,
the
we're kind of
serial
swamped at the donut shop. We're
Drive
not
by.
going to be able to get
yeah,
out there
he
right
is.
now.
I'm gonna hit the thumbs up. I see the serial killer.
killer. Serial killers there.
That could be an idea.
Yeah.
Catch a killer would be
All
the
right, so that's
actual
your
Waze
number
app.
6, though, Dad.
No, that's a great app.
is
Actually,
a
that's
good
something
app.
very similar.
I still cannot believe we have not had any repeat apps on our list. So
All
far.
right.
It's kinda
Yeah,
crazy.
that's true.
So my number 6. When I was a little bit younger, I used to like jailbreaking everything and like
Yeah.
opening up my phone and rooting it and everything.
Yeah.
I've gotten like lazier. My attention span's gotten much shorter, and I just can't keep up with it anymore. So this is an app for that slightly lazier person who still wants to customize their phone. Nova Launcher.
Nova Launcher.
It's awesome. I love to fool around with it. If you like making your phone
cross-platform?
entirely you,
Probably not.
You know what you should check, Brian? Can you see if it's for? I don't know if iOS isn't very
I doubt it.
customizable. It's
Yeah.
one of the things
Yeah.
they're known not to be.
Yeah.
Right.
But for Android, I know it's a must-have app. It's so easy to use. It works with other apps and a ton of third-party software. It integrates like seamlessly. Like so, for a long time when I was waiting for the Android update, I couldn't even do something like a swipe up, like a gesture-based thing, like just bringing it up from here. I couldn't do that. So once I use this app, now I can do search for my latest things.
Oh shit. Okay.
I can search right there. It shows me my most recent, frequent news updated. So anyway, the point is you can make it so that it looks nothing like anybody else's Android.
Yeah.
So say you go out and you buy that Samsung. I got the Galaxy Note 57 3/4, and you love it. It's a robust phone. It's powerful, but you don't like all the bloatware.
Yeah.
Don't make that. Don't let that stop you from getting that phone. You like that phone? Get that phone. Slap Nova Launcher on it.
Yeah, I don't think it's for iOS though.
Okay,
No,
right.
I'm
Kind of
not-
figured.
I'm seeing that it's
So that is Android only, but
Google's Android.
I highly
operating.
recommend it. It's very vanilla. So if you like vanilla, like straightforward Android,
I
that you
hate
can do
vanilla.
whatever with. You don't like vanilla?
Chocolate's my favorite. I hate
You
vanilla.
you do like that chocolate thunder.
Yeah.
You do.
Yes.
So all right. Anyway,
There always has to be a freaking phallic symbol reference on this show for some reason. I don't know why that is, but
I
anyway.
don't know if that was phallic.
isn't it
Well,
phallus?
whatever.
That's a little bit of a Freudian slip.
I think it's
on
phallus.
that one.
Phallic
And
symbol.
it's
Phallic?
phallic
Whatever.
symbol.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, all right.
I don't
so,
even know. Who knows? Let's move on.
My next one that I was gonna do. This is probably gonna be our what I would say is probably gonna be maybe our first. Actually, you know what? I'm not even gonna do the one I was gonna do because I saw something when I was going through my screen time on my, like my iPhone, my most used apps or whatever. Can I just say out loud? For some freaking reason, my sixth most used app is Find My Friends, and I've apparently spent
Yeah.
the past week 3 hours and 15 minutes on
No,
Find
there's
My
no
Friends.
way. Well, who are you freaking keeping track
It's like
of?
I knew that I was a stalker, but I didn't know I was that.
You
like,
are
this
a
was
stalker.
like
We have a
eye-opening
stalker on the
experience
show.
for
I've
me.
never opened that app in my life.
Find My Friends. I spent 3 hours. I'm like, Jesus, do I?
Well, you
really
did.
Weird.
that much?
You have
What
on-
do you even do on?
But
Find
you
My
have to
Friends?
allow the
I
person to
find
find you,
my
Yeah,
right?
the person has
I
to
mean-
be. The person has to be allowed. Yeah, they allow the.
Well,
You
I
guys
mean-
use it for your family, don't
Yeah,
you?
for
Or
family.
you just steal a person's phone and you.
And
allow
Oh
it.
make
God,
sure
you
that
are
it's-
creeping me out a
Well,
little bit.
No, we don't. Do
I was
that.
wondering why we would always run into each other all just accidentally like 5 times a week.
Yeah.
Oh my
Well,
God.
the other day.
What are you doing in New Jersey out of nowhere on a Tuesday evening?
The other day, I was at.
Hey, what's up, man?
I went over to Hudson. I went over to my credit union to make a withdrawal, and it's right next to Walmart. And I get a phone call from Joe, and he says, "Why are you at Walmart?"
Can you pick me up some stuff for the show?
Yeah, that's what he
Yeah,
did.
exactly.
That's what he was actually calling
It's so
about.
funny, man.
Oh my God, that's
I
convenient.
was so embarrassed to see 3 hours. I was like, oh, that's my sixth most. I used that more
No,
than I
there's-
use
no,
Spotify. I was like, what?
Those numbers are not accurate. Probably left it on in the background or something.
I
It didn't
don't
realize.
know.
Let's
man,
hope
but
so.
Anyway, so I mean, I guess that's my number 6. Apparently, I use it a lot.
we
Find My
have found a
Friends.
serial killer in the making.
Yeah,
That's right.
exactly.
So go onto your Waze app and knock that right there.
Yeah.
All right.
Number 5. My number 5 is an app called All Trails. For all of those like hikers out there, this one I found is like anywhere I've lived, Boston, LA, New York, I've always been able to find hiking trails through this app, and it has the trails on the app. I think you can download them, but you need to like get the premium thing, which I don't think is that expensive per month. But I've always found that if I just use the GPS and like go onto the trails that I can search up, it's pretty reliable. You do get into some dead zones sometimes where it doesn't work, but yeah, it's like it has basically like I know around me, it's got pretty much every single trail that you need to know.
Nice.
And yeah, you can search them. You can look at stuff from other states. You can favorite. You can like have your own things in like a plan section. I like it. I think it's pretty good.
They have one like that for motorcycles too, which is awesome. Like
Really?
they'll show you where like twisty, windy roads are that are
okay.
good for riding. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, Joe. We're
Add
back
number
to you.
5. Wait, where's 5 or 6?
5.
5. God, I
Oh,
must be
we're
so
only on
tired, man.
5?
I can't count. I can't count today.
My
All
other one of my most used apps is called User Testing.
Oh yeah.
All right, I'm sour about this
There
one.
you go.
Yeah,
There we
he's
go.
sorry. No, I'll tell you a story. User Testing is just a side hustle app where you can make money
Doing surveys.
doing surveys on their
Yeah.
website, or they have an app too, and you sign up for it. You take a little practice test in the beginning and
That's
see
the
if you do
screeners.
well.
Yeah.
And you basically you're testing out or giving your opinions on pilot sites or sites that the companies are trying to develop
Yeah,
for
beta
themselves.
apps.
Yeah, beta apps, things like that. And so you take a practice test first of all, and they rate you on the star system 1 through 5. And if you get a 4, you have to get a 4 or higher. And
in order to get approved to
in order to
become
get
a
approved
tester.
to become the tester for them. I passed on my first time. Joey, I think you passed on your first time, right? When you did
got
it.
5 stars.
And Rob he failed his first one.
Rob failed.
So badly
Got
he
rejected.
failed that we almost all got thrown off the platform.
They emailed us and said, "Wait, did you recommend this guy?"
Wait, and I
What
said,
was
It was
nope,
pretty
Nope,
bad. It
wasn't
was pretty
me.
bad, dude.
It was
Yeah,
like
They were like, "Stop contacting us."
it was so funny, man. Hilarious.
I was all dejected too. I really felt
You should just do it
Yeah.
again.
So
Just do it.
stupid.
No, they said I can. I didn't make that up for jokes.
Yeah,
They were
because
they, like,
do
they
not.
give you-
Oh, you did it
we will
twice too.
contact
Right? You fell twice.
Yeah.
Not once. You fell twice.
Then
That's why it's
I
so
used my
funny.
wife's email. They're like, "No, buddy,
No,
stop
we
it."
know who you
Sorry.
are.
Anybody
Not
associated
happening.
with you is that's it.
Oh my
Blacklist.
God. But
So-
tell them though, the awesome thing about that app, other than that I'm not on it,
Yeah.
is it is legitimate, right?
No, it's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
Speak
legitimate
to that
site.
part.
It's the biggest.
Like you get money from it.
You literally get money.
I have $70 pending right now. It's
Yeah.
gonna come through. Like
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
important to tell because
How
I
do
mean
you
a lot of
guys
times
get
they're
so
not
many
good.
tests?
No,
I
you-
never pass the screeners.
You got to leave it open all day.
Oh, you actually
Oh,
signed
oh,
up,
wow.
Brian?
Yeah, I've made like $30 on it
Sometimes,
so far.
sometimes the
Okay.
trick is if they come up with a category and you kind of know what it is, and you can get through it. Just throw
I
it
can-
in.
I can never
I
figure
hope they're
it
not
out.
listening
Yeah,
to
so-
this.
Yeah, no.
I was all honest. They were like, "Shut
But
your
no,
filthy
because-
mouth."
I'm honest too.
Like sometimes the things are pretty vague, like they'll ask if
I'm
you're a
usually
manager or
honest
something
about
like
it.
that, and I am, at work, so to a certain extent.
They're like,
I'm-
"Are you a rocket scientist?"
yeah, well,
Like,
no, there's
kinda.
certain things
Yeah,
that
I mean, I've
obviously
seen it rocket.
Yeah, absolutely.
you'll get them eventually, and then you want to try to maintain. You won't get. You're supposed to get rated on them. I've had over I don't know how many 300 different test screeners that I've taken or tests that I've taken.
Yeah.
And I started in December of last year. I don't know. I've made a lot of money, but if you sit and have the thing open, you can make a bunch. But the thing
Yeah.
is, you'll get rated on some of them, not all of them. A lot of them don't really rate you, but you
Yeah, I
want to keep
noticed
that
that.
above 4.5
Yeah.
because the higher your rating is, the more screeners you'll get.
Yeah.
Then you just have to take the screeners, and if you match the screener questions, they'll give you the test.
Yes.
So, but it's a great way. You don't have to spend a lot of time, and you make $10 every time you take a screen or take a test, and you can get anywhere from 2. I don't think I've gotten more than 3 in a day, but still, if you can get 2 a day every day of the week, I mean that's a good little side.
I get
gig,
1 a week.
No, that is good. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get more. You just got to
Well,
keep it
I get
open.
none, so enjoy your one.
The other secret too, Brian, is if you have a double screen like most people do today, always keep it opened and
Yeah.
keep the volume on so you can hear that beep come up when and just whenever you're doing something on your computer or something, always keep
I
that.
bet
up.
you can. You probably use a tasker if this and that, and when that happens, it'll page your phone.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I like
Oh,
that. That's a
yeah.
good idea.
Oh, I'll
I
have
like
to-
that.
you'll have
Then
to-
you could be wherever.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
All right. So my number 5, I just feel like there's a real divergence going on between the younger and the older people here. Brian's like, Boston, I go to LA, I'm on the trails, I'm working my body on the trail.
He's
My number
exhausted
5
with
is
his talking
Sam's
about
Club
it.
Scan and Go.
There you go. I
I'm
was
too
like,
lazy to stand on a freaking line at Sam's
When I'm
Club.
in my turtle
That's fair.
sandbox.
Dude, I have 4 children, and these are the kind of apps
4
you start
kids.
using. 4, but they're real kids.
Yeah.
They're actual here. So this one might come as a surprise, but if you've ever been to Sam's Club and you spend an hour shopping and then an hour and a half waiting on a dang line, you're a fool if you're not using this app.
Yeah.
You can go, this app is freaking indispensable. You can go around, scan whatever you want. It adds up the price while you're doing it. You can pay right there with your Visa card or whatever. You walk out, the 90-year-old woman or guy who's inevitably there, I don't know who they're going to
That's
stop.
crazy,
But it's
really?
always like a million-year-old person.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
a couple of your friends work there.
Yeah, right.
And they'll scan your phone, and they're just like, they'll check 1 or 2 items, see if it matches. Boom. It's so awesome. The
That sounds
only
great.
caveat
I
or the
didn't
only
think of that.
downside is you can't buy alcohol doing that.
Oh.
For obvious
All right,
reasons.
Well, okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I guess
So
I'll never
we're never
download
using
the
that
app.
again, right? No, but it really is awesome. Like people are like staring at me while I'm just chugging past. I'm like, "There's huge signs. Don't you read?"
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
Holy
whatever.
shit, actually,
but
wow.
that's
That
a freaking
that's pretty
awesome app. I
cool.
freaking
What the
love
hell?
that app.
Holy shit. It's actually pretty dope. All right. Am I up? You want to?
Yeah, it's you, buddy.
My number 5 is I kind of alluded to it a little bit earlier. I used to use Spotify, but now I use this a lot because of Loosely Related. Also, I started listening to a lot of other podcasts that are not on Spotify. Most importantly, I listen to the Joe Rogan Experience, and he's not on Spotify. So my 5th app is Apple Podcasts. I guess he has some kind of a weird relationship with Spotify.
Really?
They offered him like to be on the podcast, but they wanted a certain amount of money, and he wasn't all for that. So he
really?
He's not on there. But a lot of other great podcasts are on there, and
We're
obviously,
on there.
Most importantly,
Yeah.
Loosely Related is on
Yes,
there.
we are.
Where else are we
And,
at?
we
We're
are
also
also on Spotify, which we don't have a problem with Spotify.
Yeah, no.
Just
Yeah,
saying.
no
I love you,
Spotify
Spotify. Anyway,
Spotify.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a
iHeartRadio.
great app. I love the iHeartRadio. Obviously, we're on that. Yeah,
Google Play Music.
yeah.
I
there
love
you go.
Google Play Music.
But yeah, so Apple Podcast number 5.
All right, Brian, bring us in with number 4.
All right, so number 4. So for me personally, when I go on jogs, I don't use a treadmill. I actually like go out into the world and
There you go.
Damn
like-
you, Brian.
Yeah, in the,
Oh,
in
you're
the-
making us all look bad.
sorry.
Me,
In
I'm
the,
literally feeling so fat right now.
But yeah, I have like a route planned out in the streets, and I've never ever known how long it is, how long I'm running for. But so I needed to get something to tell me, like how that was, what my pace was, how long I was running for per mile in general, how long I was running for during that route. So Nike Run Club at number 4
there you
told
go.
me exactly that.
That's
I'm
dope.
gonna this is actually a really good app if you want to track your miles, how much you run for
Yeah,
exercise.
which I obviously do.
Right, big
I
time.
need to know.
I never have that problem.
I
'Cause
lose
either
track.
I'm running 0 or
I
I
was-
know I've taken 20 steps because I'm wheezing.
I was wondering if did they have an app that tracks how long you sit for?
yeah,
Maybe.
God.
yeah.
Um,
It's called an alarm clock.
So Brian, is like a pedometer or?
So it uses your GPS to actually track on like literally it probably just through Google Maps like your route. So I have the route I run right here.
Okay.
It shows the streets and everything. The different colors show like your pace. It
What
tells you
the
like
hell?
the different what do you call it like
Elevation.
elevation? Yeah.
Okay.
That word. And there's even run levels. So I'm on orange level, which is the second lowest.
Okay.
And I'm halfway to green.
Is there
and
anything? What's the lowest? What's like?
Do you
what's
see me on
below
it? It's like an
move?
icon of us.
What's like negative move?
So you see, well, you start out at yellow. So I guess yellow.
Okay.
And so
Yellow's a
I'm-
warning sign. That's why I don't
Yeah.
even bother running.
Yeah, but yeah. So there's different milestones. So I'm like, in total,
That's
it
cool.
tells you how much total you've ran.
Does it
I've done-
gamify it at all? Like like kind of giving you rewards for?
Like
Not really.
Okay.
You get achievements, but that's
all right.
yeah.
There you go.
I'm getting tired listening to it.
Yeah. But yeah,
We've already
anyway,
fatigued ourselves.
Nike Run Club. It's fun if
We
you like
want
running.
credit. We
Yeah.
want credit for listening to that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Really good app.
Yeah, hopefully we put some miles
That was
on
about
just
10
by
miles
listening
right
to it,
there.
yeah.
Just me
Yeah.
thinking about.
All right,
Considering
Joe.
downloading the
What do you
app.
got number 4?
Okay, so number 4 I'm going to say is chess.com.
Okay.
Chest?
Chess.
Chest.com.
Like chess. the game.
C-H-E-S-S.
Oh, chess.com. All right. After you said that
That's an
Pornhub
app or a
earlier, now I'm
website? I know,
confused. I'm
yeah,
like,
I
what?
know, I know.
I don't want to
At
be
first, I
presumptuous.
honestly thought that too. Wait, so chess.com is an app or is
Chess
it a website?
it's a website and an app. You
Oh,
can, I have the app on
okay.
my phone.
Okay,
I play
okay.
mostly on my desktop, but sometimes I play it on my
Now,
phone.
is it
and I use it a
like
lot.
live players or
It's
bots?
live players. It's worldwide players. It tracks your rating. It's
I'm
mostly
sure a lot of this happens at your job.
yes.
When he's
Let's
not-
not go there. I don't
when
know
he's
how many
not
people
writing
freaking
things for
listen,
this.
But my boss sees me, and then when he sees me playing, he's like, "Oh, maybe you should do this."
But it's
or
funny
that,"
because don't you sit next to your
But-
boss, like literally?
Yeah, he walks right past
Yeah.
me. I try to like close it before he walks past, but
That's
he
so
walks
funny.
so fast, and he's got feet that's like I
Yeah.
think he puts like pads on the bottom of
Softeners.
his feet so you don't hear him coming.
You
Yeah.
better hope
But-
he doesn't watch this podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't
Yeah.
care if he does. I need a watcher.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
just
get some listeners.
Exactly.
Sorry about your real
But
job.
the
but this
thing,
is more-
the thing that actually, and it actually is good for me. The reason why I do it, besides the fact that I just love playing chess, and I always have since I was a kid, is that it also just keeps my mind sharp when I do it because it keeps me thinking.
Wait,
my
so
mind
this
working.
is your mind being sharp.
No, I'm not playing chess right now, so no, my
Oh,
mind's
okay.
not
Just
sharp.
checking.
It's only when I'm
See,
playing
that's-
chess.
he saves all his brain cells for chess. That's what
yeah,
it is.
yeah. I save it. I really don't want to
He flips
overexert
the
myself
switch.
until I play the
Yeah.
chess.
He flips
You
his
know?
switch when the chess.
I'm at my best when I'm in front of that chess.com app.
Little Josh Waitskin over here.
Yeah. Well, I wish. I played Josh Waitskins, actually.
Oh, why did I bring this up? I remember
Yeah,
that
no,
story.
I did. I played
I was
Josh
in
Waitskins.
Washington
He did.
Square
He
Park.
did. He
No,
did.
I went and played one of the greatest chess players. Like the movie, if you ever saw Searching for Bobby Fischer,
I do
Josh
love that movie.
Waitskins. I didn't know it at the time. I found out later on, but we went to a chess. I went with my cousin-in-law to a chess tournament in the city. It was for kids that were like 11 years old, and I went there with a
So why were you
chessboard.
there? Because you were an adult.
We
Yeah.
brought them. Me and Uncle Jimmy went there to bring
So
him
two
to
old
it.
guys went to go play with a bunch of 11-year-olds.
Well, no. There was a kids tournament, so we
Wait,
brought our nephew,
I'm honestly,
Michael.
Oh,
Michael
you
Mayer.
never said that.
Yes,
I never
I
heard
did.
you
I was
say
honestly
that.
I did say my
You said
nephew.
cousin.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm
I'm
sorry,
so
my
sorry.
cousin.
I never
Cousin.
heard that. I heard me and Uncle Jimmy
No, my
went
cousin.
scouring the area.
My cousin, basically, my
Okay.
wife's cousin.
But how old
But
was he?
He was 11 at the time.
Oh, okay. So you got to say that because
we went to-
when you say cousin, I'm thinking like my
I don't know
cousins
what
are
the
my
hell
age.
he's
Well,
talking
he's
about.
your
I
cousin,
swear.
right? Michael Mayer is your cousin.
Oh, well, yeah. Okay. So
Michael Mayer is your cousin.
How much younger is he than you at the
A
time?
lot. He's
So at
20,
the time, how old were
17.
you?
I was like 21 or 2. Or
Okay,
something
and he
like
was
that.
he was
Oh,
like
okay.
11. There you go. Okay,
Yeah,
so
and
there
he was
you
like
go.
11.
All right.
So,
Now it makes more sense.
Um,
Now I
So
was
you
on-
had
I
a
was-
kid with you. That was a relative.
yes, and he went.
This
and,
makes
and,
it a big difference.
And we were playing. We were getting ready for a tournament, and I had an electronic chessboard that was like really high rated chessboard. I couldn't barely beat it. It was 10 levels on it. I could barely beat it on level 3.
Yeah, those fucking.
And I was a pretty
that-
good
those
chess
things
player.
are
I wasn't
insane.
great, but I was a pretty good chess player. I was a
Yeah.
club player. And I sat down and started playing it, and this kid comes over. He has this black curly hair sort of, and he says, "Can I try your game?" And I said, "Sure." I had it on level 3. He beat it in like 30 seconds.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
like
devastating.
beat it. I'm
So
like, what?
crazy, man.
So I said, do that again. He played it again. So then I played him in a game, and he wrecked me twice, embarrassed me, like it was insane. And
That's so crazy.
It turns out he won the
It really
tournament.
is
He won
nuts.
his part of the tournament, and then there was 2 sections of the tournament, and this other game was going on. Josh Waitzkin was looking over the game, and one of the kids gave up. He resigned the game.
Yeah.
And Josh sat down just for the hell of it and finished the game on that kid who just resigned side and won that game.
Wow, it's crazy, man.
He was the only one kid. There was a tournament with
It really is nuts.
what's his name? Bobby Fischer came. He used to do where you have a 40.
Oh, you
100
play
people.
40 people.
Yeah, and he would play every board.
Walks through, yeah.
And he played, and Josh Waitzkins was a little kid at one time playing at that, and he was the only one in the room to bring
A
Bobby
draw,
Fischer
right?
to a draw. Now, I found out later on who he was. I didn't know it until later on. I realized, why that was. Later on, I
Yeah.
found out it was Josh Waitzkins.
It's
He's
pretty
like
crazy, man.
he does other things now. Last I heard, he wrote a book, and then he does like I forget his Taekwondo or something. He's like a black belt in something.
I feel like I remember
And
hearing
he
that too. That's
speaks.
really weird you just said that. Yeah, I think
He
yeah.
does
If you want to
speaking
look that up,
engagements.
Brian, check out what he's up to
Yeah.
these days.
All right.
Josh
He's doing his
Waitzkins.
top 10s.
Josh Waitzkins.
Yeah.
He's listening to this.
Well, let's
All right.
get
While you're looking at that, I'm
going to
go number 4. Yeah, we're getting a little long. All right.
Yeah.
Number 4, Google Photos. I know it seems obvious, but a lot of people don't realize it makes links for you. It brings back memories. It'll show you what given date. It curates. You can't save files, but you can curate albums, which is essentially the same thing. But even if you don't have Google Photos, like you don't pay for it, it's absolutely free to
Yeah.
save in high resolution, unlimited amount.
Yeah.
It's just freaking no brainer. So I have
I
mine.
use it on my
It
iPhone.
just backs up right. It's cross platform. You can use it on iOS. You can use it on Android. I can't believe like if you have something like a Google Pixel, it comes up with like a bunch of free stuff. So they do
believe
encourage
it.
you to use
Yeah,
their system.
yeah.
But anyway, Google Photos. If you're not using it, you're a tard. Get
Yeah.
on it. All right.
It's great. I love it. I love it because like I always forget to freaking back up my phone, and every time I get a new phone,
Doesn't
I
work
lose
with
all my
iPhones,
pictures and
though.
photos.
It works on iPhone.
Google,
It does,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Google
Dude,
Photos works on
I
everything.
have 400 photos on.
Because is there a
and
way
videos
I
on
have?
Google
You have to show me
Photos.
later because I want to get all
It's
the.
so useful.
I want to
It's
get
so
all this
useful.
stuff off of my phone. And
Well,
onto that.
if you
and-
want to get everything off it, you're better off just backing up because you're
I
going to
don't-
want apps, you're going to want contacts and things like that.
Yeah.
I'll help you with your
all
stuff.
right,
That's
Yeah.
easy.
'cause,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
All
What's your
so
number 4, Joe?
Number 4 for me is going to be definitely Instagram. I do use it a lot. You know, it's something that I didn't use it for a long time. I've gotten into it more. I'm not crazy on social media now. In terms of me, in terms of posting, not crazy amount of posting, but I do. But I
More of
follow
the,
a
like,
lot of people.
stalking stuff.
I like stalking stuff.
Yeah,
like
stalking.
I said,
It helps-
obviously,
it helps you
as
with
we have
the-
learned, find my friends.
You can
use that
find
for that.
Use that in conjunction with
Yeah.
Find My Friend.
Right.
Well, I use that in conjunction with my telescope, my binoculars,
binoculars.
and
You
my
can find loosely
triangulation
related,
device.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think I put it. I have a tracker in your neck. I got in Rob's foot, and then Brian. I have like a foot, shoe.
You can get him
socks,
anywhere because
hair.
he's always walking in
Yeah.
the woods, apparently.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, but Brian, I know where he is all the time.
All right, Brian, what you got for us?
So before I do my 3, so Josh Waitzkin, he was Aikido was the martial
Aikido,
art.
okay.
it
Ooh,
says.
nice.
Right.
Aikido's good.
He's also black belt in Brazilian
Aikido
jiu-jitsu.
is-
Wow, no
BJJ,
kidding.
yes,
Wow,
yeah.
and BJJ. Holy shit,
Yeah.
nice man.
And he does speaking
Aikido
engagements.
is that's Steven Seagal was
Yeah.
a master in Aikido.
Oh,
Now he's a master in being a fat ass.
Yeah,
And a
it's
dick.
So funny. And
He's
an
probably going to run
asshole.
for president any week now. Anyway, all right, let's go.
All right, so number 3 for me is Snapchat.
Ooh, okay, cool.
I used to not really use it that much or not really like it that much, but now it's like basically like my most used app. It's like not even on here because like it's my favorite. It's just like I use it the most.
That's kind of
All right.
so it has to be on here.
right. Fair enough. Yeah.
So that's my number 3.
There
All
you
right,
go.
Joe.
Okay, no one's mentioned it yet, which is surprising, but Facebook. I use that probably more than any other app.
We believe you. We know.
Now,
That's where you buy your groceries, your
well,
footwear, your clothing.
Clothing.
I did. I've learned to stop doing that because
That
now
for
I,
the HDMI thing.
I'm just Amazon 100%. But
Amazon's
Yeah,
pretty
Amazon's
awesome.
but Facebook, I like just finding out what's going on. I check people's vanity every day,
Yep.
and then I use
That's
the
true.
marketplace, and you know I use it for our Facebook page now for loosely
I was gonna say,
related.
you
So I'm
can
always
also
checking
check
that all
out
the time.
our vanity on Loosely Related.
Yeah, our vanity
on
page
Facebook.
for loosely related on Facebook, and I just I like I use that app.
Yep. Well, everybody knows Facebook's one of those things where as soon as you say Facebook, everybody
that's
it's like
it helps remind me when people's
It's so much
birthdays
into
are
social
too, because I don't
media.
remember anybody's birthdays.
that's
very
what
useful for that.
One of the biggest things that I regret about getting rid of my
That is
Facebook
what
is I
it's good
forget
for.
Yeah.
everyone's freaking birthday. I forget everyone's birthday.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah.
It reminds
I
me every
hate
day.
it.
Oh, it's that person's birthday.
Yep.
It's that person's
Yeah,
birthday.
it's a subtle thing.
I
but
think it's
so
funny
nice.
that
And then
people they're like, I'm not getting Easy Pass. I'll wait on this goddamn line because I only pay in cash. I don't want them to know where I am. They're sitting on their 7-hour line. What are you
Yeah.
doing? I was scrolling through Facebook.
On the Facebook.
What the hell? They know when you're wiping your asshole.
Yeah,
You're worried
right.
about
Yeah,
Easy
right.
Pass?
Yeah.
You think about Googling something related to grocery shopping, and they
they already know
market
it.
their
They already know
ad
it.
to put
Right.
grocery ads on
Yeah.
your freaking
Yeah.
thing.
You were looking for
Exactly.
chives, weren't you?
Yeah.
I am now.
That's weird.
All right. So moving along. My number 3, and this you'll probably see a pretty similar pattern. My number 4, 3, 2, and 1 are
Yeah.
very like in sync together. Very, what's the word I'm looking for? They got good synergy together, I guess.
Yeah.
But number 3 is Tiny Scanner PDF Scanner app. So Tiny Scanner allows you to use your phone's camera in order to turn anything like a document into a PDF file onto your phone.
Wow.
This
Yep,
is
I've
tremendous
used that.
when you use with some of the other apps I'm going to talk about for my 2 and 1, particularly because like you could put your resume on there. You could put things that you don't want to at any given time not have. Like I have a picture of my license, my driver's license, and my license plate because all of a sudden I'll be like, crap, I need my license plate to sign up for this parking lot or whatever. And I'll be like, oh, I have it on my PDF. Boom.
Forgot what my
So
name is.
That kind exactly. I have that in there.
Yeah.
And I use my fingerprint so I don't have to remember what my password is.
Nice.
So
that's the one
yeah,
that-
so Tiny Scanner PDF scanner app is awesome.
Pretty sweet, man.
Cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I've used that before multiple times. That's great. I think you actually put me on that
It's good.
again. Yeah. All right. So number 3 for me is definitely going to be Twitter. I use Twitter all the time. As I said before, it's my favorite social media. I love going on Twitter, man. And I tweet about the Giants mostly. You ever follow me on Twitter, I'll be retweeting the Loosely Related podcast, but I tweet about mostly sports,
Where can we
but like
find you
UFC
on-
and all that.
where can we
Oh,
find
if
you?
you want to follow me on Twitter, you can find me at Joey Tubes on Twitter.
Joey Tubes.
Joey Tubes, by the way, also, if you want to follow me, you want to play with me on Xbox.
Play
Joey
with
Tubes,
me.
Play with me.
Oh my
if you want
God.
to just play, I mean, if you want to play
There's
with
so
me,
much going on.
He
in
tries-
that.
he doesn't have to use
He
the
really
friend
takes
finder.
after his father.
He doesn't have to use the
Yeah.
friend finder anymore. He can just
Listen.
suck him in on his on the.
my Find My Friends is open to everyone.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys can find me.
I love you, Joey.
And but no, if you want to play with me on Xbox, on BattleNet, wherever it's at,
PlayStation.
Joey Tubes, and yeah, but Twitter's number 3 for me. It's
Want to play with
I
him
love
up
it.
in his room? Just give him a call. Just
Yeah.
drop him a line.
Scroll right in the window.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
So
dear Lord.
what do you got
All
for
right.
us, Brian?
Number
For
2.
number 2, I just Instagram. I just got Instagram.
There you
It's
go.
like my favorite thing to use. I don't know why.
We've had hardly any repeats, but
Yeah.
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 Well,
pretty good.
I knew towards the top it was going to be some repeats.
Yeah.
I don't know. What are you going to do?
Instagram is
has
just
to-
I don't know. It's great because I love like taking photos.
Yeah.
So it's like basically just like Facebook with photos.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
yeah, it just allows me to express my creativity. And now it's got everything. It's got comments. It's got DMs. It's got stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I can track Brian's location, which
Yes.
is what he likes.
As I said, I don't have mine in particular order. I just wrote them down. So these aren't necessarily my 1 and 2 but they're ones that I use all the time.
it's fine.
NFL.com.
Okay.
Okay.
And again, it's seasonal because I use it mostly during fantasy football,
Yes.
Right,
during
makes
football
sense.
season.
Yeah.
So.
Stands to reason.
But right now, it's probably
Well,
one of my
I think
top
you mostly
2
use
apps
it during
that I
the
use.
Masters, during the
Right.
golf, the golf Masters.
No, I use it for
usually,
the
right?
rugby, the
International
international
Rugby
rugby,
And don't forget
women's,
your
women's,
love of
women's rugby.
highlight.
Highlight,
Yeah.
Quidditch, then the Quidditch World Cup.
Yeah,
Yes.
the Quidditch thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
fantasy Quidditch.
There you go.
I'm sure
All right.
that's coming.
Robert,
All
you
right.
got number 2.
My number 2. I know these are just getting drier and drier. Like the younger people are going with like their social media, and I'm talking about apps for friggin' buying food. And
This is the Start a Fire app.
How to like
you hold your phone
install
over
a
and you start a
robotic
fire.
arm
that's
into
what
your.
it is. Number 2 is Google Drive. And I know
there
they're
you
going
go.
to say very clearly before someone says, well, you already have Google Photos and Google Drive. This is an important distinction to make. Google Drive, never use that crap for photos because you're going to end up taking it all up when Google Photos takes it for free.
Yeah.
Use your Google Drive only for files.
Mm-hmm.
I see it all the time. My wife's like, it's already full. Don't put photos on Drive. Put
Yeah.
photos on Photos.
Exactly.
So Google Drive, I pay $20 a year, and this is one of them where I think it's worth every penny.
Yeah.
It's for 100 gigabyte of storage. And 100 gigs to me is a lot. Other people maybe not, but I don't use it again for video or photos.
Yeah.
You know how much typing you can put on 100 gigabytes?
Yeah, it's a lot.
And this
Quite
is
a
the
bit.
synchronicity kind of. It's like I use the tiny PDF, the Google Drive, and the Google Photos together. So Drive's cross-platform. It's a lifesaver when you forget your laptop, but you have your phone. This actually happened to me. I ran into somebody. They were like, hey, man, I know about a job opportunity. Might be interested. And I was like, oh, I don't have my resume on me. I was like, yes, I do have my resume on me.
Right.
I opened it up on my phone with my Google Drive.
Yep.
I used Tiny Scanner to make it into a PDF.
Yep.
Then I used my wireless print app on there to print to the HP printer that was in my office and was able to give that person
That's really
There you
cool.
go, man.
a
That's
resume
That's a really
right on
good
the
thing.
spot.
Yep.
So-
And we use that for our show notes, the Google Drive.
A lot of that.
Yeah, we
That's
do.
what we do.
I use
with
it for
our
my
shows.
resume. All my projects. As a matter of fact, I just had a major project I had to
Right,
do
our
for
show
my
notes
classes.
too.
I had a
Yeah.
midterm I was working on last podcast. I was like half awake for the last episode. I had a project. We worked in it was a 4-person group, but we did it all online in Google Docs, which is essentially a part of Google Drive and all that. Yeah,
Right. It all
It's
works
awesome.
so seamlessly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Joe.
All right, so for me, number 2 is going to be Reddit. Reddit is I don't even know if you would consider it a social media. I guess you probably could, but for the most part, Reddit is probably where I spend, I would say, like the second most amount of my time is obviously besides what my number 1 is going to be. I love Reddit. Reddit is to me everything I need to know. I get my fantasy football info on there. I get my sports info, my movie info, my TV info. That's why I found out on Reddit the other day. That's where I found out that Spider-Man is back in the MCU.
That's
baby.
in the whole. We
So
have to
that's
talk
where-
about
yeah.
that.
We knew that wasn't
found
going
out
to
about
last too
that,
long
baby.
because money is
Spider-Man.
money.
That's
Money,
amazing.
it's green speaks to
There you go.
everybody. And
That's
I
has-
really
where-
I was telling Joey I think it was
Yeah.
all a publicity stunt by
Yeah,
him, in part to
maybe.
keep people
But
more interested.
But
for
Reddit's
1
where I
second,
see everything,
just
yeah.
explain for people because I'm not an expert in Reddit.
Yeah.
What is it at its core? What is Reddit?
All right, so I mean, basically, I guess Reddit is a platform for what you would almost consider to be like almost like little mini blogs. You have Reddit, and then you have what's called subreddits, and the subreddits are literally just basically like forums. It's basically like one big forum where you could have a subreddit for literally almost anything. So you have the Yankees subreddit, and it'll be the official Yankees subreddit, and you can subscribe to it, and on your home feed, whenever they post any info, you'll see that. So when you make a Reddit account, you subscribe to various subreddits, and then you literally have your feed is just
I should be
filled
using this
with
more. It
all
really
these
is
major
good.
things. It's amazing, man.
I
Like,
don't know why I don't
many
use it
it's
more.
good.
subreddits too.
That's where I get most of my info. That's where I
Use
learned
it too,
about.
Brian?
Yeah,
Sometimes
Reddit?
the only subreddit I
I have
really
it on my
go
phone.
on
I don't
is
use that much.
there's this there's a subreddit called it's called Let's Not Meet.
Okay.
Where people are like they post like real life stories that happen to them that are scary, and they're just like, yeah, this guy chased me down the street with 5 machetes and he
Yeah.
like broke into my house and tried to kill me. This happened, and no, it didn't.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Oh, there's so
people
many
make
Oh,
so much
fantastical,
stuff
huh?
up, and it's like so
Okay.
obvious.
It's amazing. One of the best parts about subreddit is about Reddit is that there is literally a subreddit for every single thing you can possibly
Anything.
imagine.
Now, do you? I don't want to go on, and I know we gotta
Yeah,
kind of close
yeah,
this
no,
out.
it's all
But
good.
do you? What's the word I'm looking? Do you subscribe to Reddit?
No, so
that,
I mean,
it
Reddit,
just-
you would make an account
Okay.
like you would on any other website, like Facebook, whatever. That's why I guess you could almost kind of consider it
We
a
can
social
show
media.
some of these things
but you make
maybe,
an
pull 'em
account
up.
on Reddit, and then you basically once you're there, then you can sort of subscribe to the various subreddits.
So anything
So-
there's something new on there,
Yes,
you'll get
exactly.
alerted.
So basically, like I'll go looking for the Giants subreddit. I'll search Giants subreddit, and then I will literally, when you get to the Giants subreddit's page, you're gonna see a
I mean, I have the
subscribe
app. I
button.
gotta get
yeah,
better at this.
Just do that, and then anyways, but
All right.
Reddit's great. It's for like everything's on there, every
All
single
right.
thing.
All right, Brian, you're gonna bring us home with number 1.
Number one is, let me get back to the list.
I bet you, me and Brian have the same number 1.
YouTube.
There you go.
All right,
Whoa.
so that was a
Okay.
repeat.
Number
but
one
yeah, okay.
is YouTube. Yeah,
Right.
YouTube is my favorite. because
undeniably
I literally
mass.
I use it every single day.
Yep.
Every
All
single
right,
Yep.
Joe.
Amazon finally, after many times of ordering stuff on Marketplace and getting it 3 to 4 to 5 weeks later, and then finding out that it's not as advertised usually. I started to realize that you get the same things on Amazon, and I mentioned that in the show in the past
Yeah.
too. But Amazon's incredible. You pay a little bit more for the prices if you went
Show me
maybe
something.
to
Yeah.
like Craigslist or eBay.
Yeah, again, I think
everyone
everyone knows what Amazon is. Let's
Yeah,
speed it up a
so-
little bit. Okay,
All right, all
here
right.
we go. That's like explaining the for those of you who don't know what the literally, I think it actually, Brian, you can pull it up.
Have you heard
the,
of-
the most visited
Oh,
website? I
man.
think might be up there. Like it might be up there.
Do you guys have you heard of the internet?
The
Have you
intranet.
heard of Fire?
Fire?
All right, so my number one, I just made fun of this, is Google Maps. And I would have put it up with a toss-up with Waze. Waze is amazing, so I totally agree with what Joe said earlier. The thing I like about Google Maps, because everybody knows what it is, let me just say what the single most thing I find useful about it.
Yeah.
You can actually, because I have the 400 kids who are always using my data. What is?
Yeah.
Is somebody talking? All right. I have 400 kids always using my data. You can literally know if you're going into an area you haven't been in, and you can download the map of the entire area
So
for
you can-
miles. You can
offline,
download
offline.
miles and just have it there.
I've done
Yeah.
that.
So it's amazing. It's constantly updated. I can find the closest routes, and it seamlessly integrates with Android Auto, which I love.
And Joey
So
can use
that's
it.
my number one.
Joey can use it for road view when he's integrating it with Find My Friends.
My
and
Friends.
Find random
satellite.
friends.
Yeah.
I usually get first person view. I can see what Rob is seeing wherever he is. That's what I
Do
usually
you know they actually found the serial killer by using Google Street View?
I think I feel
They
like
did.
I feel like I've heard about this before.
Yeah.
No, they
I think
did.
I've-
One of the
Yeah.
guys, he was like a landscaper, and he had a truck and all this
Yeah.
stuff. And they had on Google Maps in front of his house, they had his pickup truck with his haul behind it.
Yeah.
And it turned out that picture. I can't remember the whole story. Maybe next time. But
These
it was
guys weren't
actually-
selling asphalt, were they?
No,
That's
I
what
don't
it
think
was.
so.
Did he
but-
did he mow into his lawn? I did it or something.
Yeah, no, but they
Here
got
I
the-
am, an X.
They got the license plate off of it or something to that effect, and they
believe
ended
that.
up finding out, and they made the connection.
That's
They actually
Go.
used the Google Street View to catch
All right,
the-
so-
Positive. All right, yeah. So
Joey,
then for
I know
me-
you said you had the same, right?
Same
as
thing as
top, but
Brian,
just
so-
tell us one thing unique that you do with YouTube that maybe not everybody does. with.
Okay, yeah. So just YouTube is my number one. I mean, for me personally, I do like listening to podcasts on Apple Podcasts, but I really do love watching a podcast. I don't know why. I
So
just
you
really
like?
do.
Oh, that's what you'd mostly.
Yeah.
use
So
it.
honestly, believe it or not, I watch mostly like I would say probably 90% of the podcasts I listen to, and it is a lot. I watch on YouTube.
Yeah.
I really do.
Okay.
I'm one of those people. I love to watch a podcast, and then also I have my daily YouTubers that I watch, like Philip DeFranco. I watch every.
you've just
single
been
day.
filled in.
I watch him every single day. I watch Angry Joe a lot. The guy he does
I'm gonna
movie
check that
reviews
out. I
and
don't know
game
about that
reviews.
guy.
He's amazing. He
so
does
funny.
movie reviews and game
Okay.
reviews mostly, and it's incredible, man. He knows
check him
everything.
out.
Yeah, and then like I love it for that reason. I'm on it, like Brian said, every day. I'm
Yeah.
on it for at least 2-3 hours.
Good
a day.
chunk, yeah.
Yeah.
What was it? What did you want me to search? The most popular website search?
No, that's
No,
all
we
right.
know
You don't
it's
have to worry
probably
about it.
Okay,
The
so,
most popular website is the looselyrelatedpodcast.com.
Yeah,
It
should be.
Exactly.
So that concludes the top 10. Does anybody have any honorable mentions before we move on?
I'll give
Nope.
you a few of mine. Google, obviously, use every day. Craigslist.
Oh yeah, right. Google's good.
I play a
obviously.
game called Who Wants to Be a Millionaire,
There you go.
and I use my Yahoo Mail app every day.
Okay, that makes sense.
Right.
There you go.
The only honorable mention I had was Amazon Seller, which if you don't sell, doesn't really make sense for you to use it. But if you
Yeah.
have any inclination to do resell, you got to have that app.
Yeah.
And then HP Smart Printer. I know that's pretty specific, oddly
I have that
specific,
too.
but
Yeah.
that's what I use at my house, and it's really useful. Anyway,
honorable mention real quick to the app that's find your friends exactly where they are at this exact minute and what they're doing, who they're with, and where their families are.
oh my gosh,
I use that
this is one
That's
of
the
the.
abbreviated
This might have been the Halloween episode because it's creepy. It's really creepy.
And
But,
if you, Joey, if you happen to see the Google imaging car with the camera on top
Yeah.
coming past,
Yeah.
make sure you hide your personal stuff.
Yeah.
Oh sure, yeah, it's a good call.
So that's a first segment for today. We're gonna take a quick break, and we're gonna come right back to talk about why we're wearing these T-shirts.
We'll be
Hey-o.
right back.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Loosely Related Podcast. We finished our first half of the show, which was the top 10 apps that we like and use, and now we're going to talk about something different. Like we
Yes.
said earlier, every time we get to the fall season, it's time for pumpkin spice. It's time for sweaters and everything nice, and it's time for
apple cider
Pickle
donut.
Rick!
it's time for our shows. Everybody knows fall's when we get back to the shows. ABC, NBC, CBS, they're all coming back.
So many shows.
Right, there's a ton of crap coming back.
There's
I
some
will
good
say
ones.
really quickly,
Yeah.
I've spent so many probably years now just streaming everything. I have not had traditional cable in
Yeah.
a decade probably.
Since it came out.
Like literally.
Since the
Rob
invention.
heard what the initial prices were. He was like, "Yep, no."
Correct. I was like, in 15 years you'll know what I'm talking
yeah,
about.
exactly.
But no, seriously, I've been streaming for so long. It
You
was
have
weird
been
to look at.
Dude, remember Cody?
It's so weird to look at.
And,
Yeah.
XBMC.
XBMC.
XBMC, man.
Not that we condone these
No,
things.
but yeah.
You can use it if you own it.
if you own it.
All right.
Yeah.
But no, anyway, I was looking back and I'm like, the more things change, the more shit stays the same. They were not kidding. I'm like looking at some of these shows, they're coming back. And like Dancing with the Stars, American Horror Stories, and it's like 50th
Dude,
year.
I can't believe it's
Although it
70
says
million.
1984, I haven't seen it since like season 4. I used to like it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's like an 80s campy horror story. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I might check that out. No. I might check it out just for shits and
I've
giggles.
seen a
I like
couple
80s.
seasons, and I've just never gotten.
Yeah, no, I
into
haven't
it.
either. Brian, I'm with you. After the first couple seasons were really good,
Yeah.
but then I'm like, they're still having like CSI, NCIS,
Dude.
like season 58, Miami. Now they're getting really desperate. They're like NCIS. New Orleans, NCIS, Newburgh. I'm like, what? Newburgh?
NCIS, my uncle's house.
Yeah, seriously. We're going to investigate crimes that occur just in this one stretch here.
Just
in,
one street.
Yeah, my God. But anyway, so I'm sure we're all looking forward to something that's coming back.
Yeah.
So,
Hell yes.
so what do we got going on? Brian, why don't you kick us off again? What do you got that's coming back this season that you're interested in?
I literally don't watch TV, but
Okay.
actually, so once
Brian, you really are all about hiking and crap.
well,
aren't you?
yeah,
It's
no,
like,
just
I
literally,
love
like-
nature.
yeah, I'm outside all the
He's
time.
outside humming to himself.
Yeah.
He's like, zippity doo.
I haven't gone in I haven't gone in a while. Though. I gotta get back out. What was I gonna say? Oh, so one show that did come back this fall that I used to watch when I was a freaking kid. This was like the OG ghost show. Was Ghost Hunters.
Ghost Hunters.
And
I heard
Ghost
that, yeah.
Hunters.
Very
it's,
interesting.
It's back on. I think it's A&E.
Okay.
And it is with a whole new team.
So it's a whole refresh.
Yeah, it's literally like back on. It's
Rebooting
called
it or-
season 1.
Did they
Okay.
upgrade their EVP yet?
No,
Because,
it's even. They don't even
Yeah,
like.
I-
It's,
We did a preview of
Okay,
that last week.
So when ghost shows first came out, it was like literally you'd get like video evidence and EVPs, and it would be like actual stuff they would find. Now they just talk about how they feel, and like I'm sorry, like I don't care because that doesn't
what
give
do
me.
you mean? They're like, I feel scared.
Like no, they'll be like, oh my god, like I don't feel right in this room. It's like okay,
Yeah, who
like
cares?
that doesn't prove to me that there's a ghost there.
My 13-year-old doesn't feel right any day of
Yeah.
the week. She's always
Yeah,
upset.
right.
I don't think she's being haunted.
And
And, like,
I don't
She's a
feel
normal
right.
teenager.
I don't feel right watching the Giants lose. So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
make a TV
But yeah.
show about it.
So far Ghost Hunters has been like okay, but like I don't know, there's something about like and actually it just reminded me of another show I wanted to talk about, but I'll finish with this one first. They just ghost shows they're so dry nowadays. Like there's no real personality in them anymore. They're just like a dime a dozen now. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think
don't
they're
really watch them too much.
Yeah, I know.
don't know.
And so the other show that I apparently has come out during this fall is Mountain Monsters.
Okay.
is
Which
that?
is the fakest show on TV. Like, and it's like you'll watch like Ancient
Faker
Aliens.
than Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
It's crazy. Like they don't even pretend. Like they know, but they go hardcore. Like, oh, we're just gonna make this the silliest show where it's like a bunch of like rednecks with guns hunting Bigfoot.
Did
Really?
you see? I saw that show. Did you see that when the guys would be like, it's squatchy out here.
Yeah,
I love it when they say it's getting pretty
Yeah.
squatchy.
So these guys literally like
was funny.
the plot of the show is that they hunt Bigfoot, but then there's another rogue team that hunts Bigfoot as well, and so they're now having like a war with the rogue team, and people are getting like kidnapped.
What
Oh
channel
my
is this
God.
on, Brian?
It's like I think it's
We're gonna get this
Destination
fake monster
America.
before
Oh,
you.
okay.
You doofus. We'll get this fake
and,
monster first.
and they're
We're gonna
like
get it
they're
first.
going undercover, and there's a spirit.
Where are they
girl.
gonna dress up like a tree?
It's
Nobody will recognize me.
No one's gonna see me.
it's freaking it's so funny.
I'm gonna contact that guy Joey's Find
All right,
My
I might
Friends.
have to
bet
check
you
that out.
It's so funny. You
What's
gotta
that coming on? A&E?
Yeah.
No, so Ghost Hunters is A&E. I think Mountain Monsters is Destination America.
Okay.
Bro,
And
those guys keep calling me because like they know that I got Bigfoot on Find My Friends. I have him on there, and they
Bigfoot.
keep calling me when they set it up.
Exactly.
I'm like, no.
All right, Joe. What do you got? Looking
All
forward
right,
to. What do you
so the first one that I mentioned it on last week's and
Well, first
probably
of
the
all,
week
it has to do with your shirt. Talk about your shirt real
all right,
quick.
yeah. So it does have to
Classic.
do. I am wearing my Cheers shirt, and the
Oh,
shirt
For
is-
those who are
tying
just
in the
listening,
actor.
He is
And-
wearing Cheers.
and that has to do with Ted Danson, who's on a
Danson,
show
okay.
that I watched just recently started watching it, and it's
Talked about
amazing. And we talked about it already on the past 2 episodes, I think.
Yes.
Really
and
championing it.
And it's
Yeah.
called The Good Place. Really fun show to
Yeah.
watch. Really enjoyable. Short episodes.
My wife has a good place, but I'll tell you about that.
You know, I binged watched it on Netflix. It's
I love you,
available. The first 3 seasons are available on Netflix,
Yep.
and most of the
show-
episodes are very short. They're very.
Yeah.
You can go through the seasons very quick, but very enjoyable show. And
It came back
season
last,
4 comes
Thursday.
out on came back on Thursday of
This past Thursday.
week. This past Thursday, and it's on NBC.
26th, I think. Yeah, all the
Um,
good shows are on Thursday. It seems like.
Yeah,
I haven't
well,
Yeah, Thursday is loaded.
I haven't watched it because I don't like watching the commercial-filled episodes, so I'll wait for the
That's what I'm
episode
saying. I
to
don't
be
think I can
posted
get
on.
used to it anymore.
No, I
I'm so
can't.
used to
There's no way.
streaming.
dude.
I'll wait
Yeah.
for it to come
Because
up
even that
on.
was streaming, right, Joe?
Dude, I can't even pay.
The first 3 were on streaming because I guess
seasons,
Netflix somehow
Netflix.
on
Well,
Netflix
yeah,
they,
they-
must have bought the rights to the show and put it on
Yeah.
Netflix or something. I
yeah,
guess.
yeah,
So-
probably.
But it is an NBC show. But I'm going to wait.
NBC has their own streaming service coming
They're all
out.
doing that
They're
now.
all doing that now. So now before, because like the
That's
Office,
a whole nother show
The
coming.
Office is coming off of Netflix now. People are up in arms.
Dude,
about
I'm telling
it.
you, Netflix
It's-
is in the hole. We talked about it a little bit.
Yeah, we did.
They're in
Yeah,
bad
yeah.
shape.
Yeah.
And it's a shame because I do.
I'm
like
sorry,
this
we
and
didn't
stuff,
mean
but-
to interrupt
Yeah,
you.
no,
But
I
anyway,
didn't
The Good
interrupt.
Place. The Good Place is a great show. Ted Danson's one of the main characters on
Amazing.
that show. And of course, he's
Knocks it
from
out of the
Cheers,
park.
and he's just
He played Sam
There's
Malone, right?
There's a lot of amazing, endearing characters on the show. Not just him; he's just one of them. But they're all great. All of them
Yeah.
are great.
Well, let me ask you a question.
And-
Would you put that currently? Now, again, I love my top 5 lists. So current TV shows you're currently watching, currently on the air right now at this moment in time, is that in your top 5?
Yes, it's my number one.
No, it's not number 1. I know it's number
What?
1 for
Number
you.
one?
You're forgetting your favorite. And
Chicks with
it's a
bleep.
phenomenally well-written show. It
Well,
might be
I
the
mean
best
that's
show
on.
TV
Yeah, but
currently.
I don't even know. I'm saying
What show
I'm
am I
watching
talking
right
about?
now.
Yeah.
You're talking about
No, that are currently
Call Saul.
in syndicate. Yeah.
Better Call
Yes.
Saul.
Yeah.
Oh, Better Call Saul.
When
Yeah,
is
yeah,
that
yeah,
coming
yeah.
back out? It's
Oh, I don't
season,
know. So
right? That's the
that's
fifth
not
season now.
that. I don't know. Hey, Brian, can you look up when is
We
Better
gotta
Call Saul?
find
'Cause
that out.
That's
might
still
be-
going, right?
Yeah.
If you're,
Oh, so that's your favorite show?
That's his favorite, currently
running show is
syndication,
my
like,
favorite
yeah,
show.
currently.
Yes.
All right.
But if
Amazing show.
if you're Breaking Bad,
2020, it's going to return.
Oh, okay. All right. So
Oh,
it's
they're
it's
really
not
taking a
show.
break there, huh?
Yeah.
so if you're a Breaking Bad fan, you definitely gotta
wait,
watch that.
I still have to finish Breaking Bad. I was so
And
bad about that.
I haven't even
show.
started Breaking
Since-
Bad.
I watched like
Oh,
one and
you
a half
gotta watch
seasons.
Breaking
Yeah, I
Bad.
know.
It's the most amazing.
I know
show
it's like
ever.
people just get
It's-
pissed at you if
yeah.
you admit it's like you're a
It's
leper.
just-
What do you mean you don't
Yeah,
watch that?
It threatened to like completely.
I knew you
destroy
were a
the
date
society
rapist, but
as
now
it
you
knows.
also don't watch that show. You're a real piece of crap.
People lose their mind. They're like, what? They
No,
start
it's-
like breaking
I know,
windshields
my-
and
No, it's really
Holy
really good.
crap! I'm sorry to watch the show you like.
yeah, right.
Now, if you don't watch The Wire, you're a real piece of shit.
Yeah, I was gonna
should
go
watch
there.
that.
I was like, coming from the guy who shit on me and my dad for years for not watching The Wire.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
There it is.
So
It all comes full circle.
Hilarious.
so the other thing I'll
Those are
mention,
two great shows, though. The
Yeah.
Wire and Breaking Bad.
I do want to watch
Probably
Breaking
number
Bad.
1 and 2. For most people, they go back and forth.
Yeah, all right.
yes.
And,
I do still want to watch that.
also,
show.
The Sopranos. I'd actually would like
That's
to watch.
my
I've
number
seen
1 all
that.
time.
Favorite,
That's
but
my number
just
1
because the
all-time
ending I
show.
can't have.
But
it.
anyway, speaking of Breaking Bad, I'm not. It's not
Oh,
a series,
yes.
but there's
No, it's
something
not.
coming out
In October.
In
No,
October,
that counts. That counts.
It counts, and
That's
it's
fall.
called El Camino,
El
the
Camino,
movie
man.
on
Breaking-
Netflix.
Yes.
And
It's
what is
about
that?
the Jesse Pinkman
so happy you
story
brought that up.
that
Yes.
takes place
Oh, about the-
directly after
Yes.
the
him-
conclusion of
the
Breaking
conclusion
Bad.
of
Literally,
the show. Him
the-
All right,
escaping.
hold on one second. Let me ask
from
you a
that point
question.
on.
Oh, shit.
Let me ask you a question real quick. Don't ruin Breaking Bad. I know it's
Yeah,
a spoil.
yeah.
Don't spoil this 10-year-old show for me. I know I'm like late on it, but so Better Call Saul. Needless to say, I never watched it. But
It's
I've
a
heard great
prequel
things.
to the show.
It's the prequel, right?
Yeah.
Is it like
It's about
now?
Saul.
Is it gonna? Oh, yeah. Okay,
It does.
thank
It
you.
does overlap.
Is it about Saul?
No, it's about Saul, but
sure,
it
why not?
does
At some
overlap.
point, it must catch up to the beginning of Breaking Bad.
It does, and it's already doing
Getting
that.
closer.
So
There's
it's overlapped
characters.
already,
There's
right?
characters in
That are
the
now
Better
being
Call Saul that
interwoven.
are interwoven.
Well, there
that
was-
are
So that
attached
kind
to
of
the
happened like
show,
with The
too.
Walking Dead.
Yes.
When they had, I couldn't stand
Fear
it.
the Walking
I
Dead.
didn't like it.
I watched the whole
got
first
so
season.
boring.
It wasn't that
It was
good.
supposed to show you like Patient Zero, and it never did.
It never showed you.
Yeah, it
Patient
really
Zero.
missed the mark there, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've
I'm like,
caught
yeah,
up now.
didn't we see this already?
Do you know they've caught up now?
Yeah, but I'm saying it's like what
No,
the only reason I know
what
how
you're
much it irritated me is because I was watching the finale of, I think, one of the seasons. I don't remember which one, and they had that come on like right after it.
saying. Yeah.
But I thought I must have missed something. I got up to go use the restroom. I'm like, this is still part. Is this the show? Like,
this
what
the-
the hell is
Yeah, right,
happening?
right,
And, like I thought it was still the same show, and I'm like, how did it just
Dude,
all of a sudden start
TV
sucking?
TV shows love time jumps nowadays. Like Walking Dead themselves, they've done like 13 time jumps in like one season. They were like,
Just for the sake
well,
of
all right, so
doing
we're
it.
going to start
I'm
with
even
a
off
10-year
that
time
now.
jump. Then during our 10-year time jump, we're going to do a 5-year time jump within the 10-year time jump. So
ridiculous.
it's going to
Yeah.
be a 25-year time jump.
Right.
It's hard enough to write a story when it's like linear. Like,
Yeah.
why would you just?
It gets
Yeah.
so
No,
confusing. dude.
I'm
That's
telling you
bad
right
writing.
now. If you are out there and you're looking for something to binge watch, you got 3 different. Well, you got 2 different seasons of Breaking Bad. They're
Yeah.
both
Okay.
they're both great shows. Number 1, as far as I'm
Two
concerned,
different
is
series.
Breaking.
Yeah, what do you mean?
I'm sorry.
I'm
you
saying
mentioned-
that
seasons.
there's Breaking
Oh, I thought
Bad,
maybe
and
they
then
were
there's
only
Better
two.
Call Saul,
and
and
the
now
two
there's a
different
movie,
streams.
so they're all tied together.
So the movie is
So-
going to be
All right,
about
so
what? Bridging them?
It's
So-
no,
no,
it's
no.
about what happens immediately after the Breaking Bad.
Okay.
But
Last
Yeah, I didn't see
episode.
it.
only
From
Don't
there on,
spoil
in,
it.
it's only about
we can't
Jesse
say-
Pinkman.
no,
who's
no,
one of
Don't
the-
say. Oh my God! Don't
All
say.
right.
No, I'm just playing.
I
Well,
wouldn't even say that.
It doesn't really
I'm just
matter. You'll
playing,
know
I'm just
Jesse
playing.
Pinkman, but you'll.
Yeah,
it's
he's the
about
kid. He was
what
the kid who
happens
makes it.
after
Yeah, but
the
now
show.
they know that he.
But anyway, yeah. it's definitely worth it.
Right.
And I'll just want to mention one other show that I'm watching right now, and I love it. It's a historical show, and I just decided to watch it because I was just curious, and I am enjoying it very much. It's called Cuba Libre, and it's on Netflix.
Libre?
Cuba Libre. It's about the liberation,
I think it's
the
Cuba.
liberty.
Cuba Libre.
Cuba Libre. All
Like
right.
Cuba.
So
Yeah, I get
Okay.
it. You're trying to put your ethnicity on.
it's
I
a
hear you.
historical show, and it's about Cuba's history from the
Cuba.
from the time it was first founded by Columbus all the way through to present times.
Now you're saying
And-
some upsetting things already.
Huh?
You're gonna get people rattled.
No, but it's
Columbus.
interesting.
I don't think.
No,
I don't think he
but-
discovered it.
No,
but
no,
okay.
no. He did. He did.
Okay.
Hold on.
He
There weren't
discovered-
people there already. Okay.
Pull
Cool.
it up,
No,
Brian.
he discovered it for the New World. That's what
Okay,
I'm saying.
all right.
He didn't.
Oh, okay.
He wasn't obviously, but it talks about
I discovered
that all the way
Netflix. I
through
invented it.
what happened to the indigenous people who lived
Oh
there.
no,
and what it's
Cristobal
really,
Colon. It was discovered by Christopher Columbus. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Cristobal Colombo.
He discovered all of those islands, obviously, and
Yeah.
but it's a very fascinating, an interesting thing about
Okay.
Cuba because I don't think most people know really what happened with Cuba. And I saw the show and I said, you know what?
Well, like what? The
I want to
birthing
know
of it? What do you mean? I don't know.
about everything, about the whole history, how it became communist,
lot
how
of
Fidel,
shady
how Fidel
government
Castro,
involvement,
how the
right,
how the
US.
mafia was involved in that
I'm
island,
trying to
and
put
how
the hit on him like
just
a million times.
the whole
Dude, the CIA did so much shady
They try to
shit.
put the hit on him a
no,
million times.
there's a lot
The
of
Cuban Missile Crisis.
Yeah.
lot of very interesting things that I think most
Bay
people
Pigs.
would not
Bay
know
Pigs invasion.
happened
Bay
in
Pigs
Cuba, and it's fascinating. People should watch it.
Okay,
It's
so where's that? Where can we find it?
It's on Netflix, of course. That's where I watch most of my shows. But yeah, it's a Netflix original.
That's another. All right, I don't want to get. I can go.
It's
forever
very
on
good.
Netflix.
So I'll-
okay,
I'll
all right.
keep-
So
that's-
let's check
that's-
those out.
that-
So
those three you need to
So
check out.
what were those again? Just summarize it real quick.
All right, so
The
my
Good
first
Place?
one was The Good Place. Definitely watch The Good Place. You can binge watch that. Then you could watch what was the second one? That I
El
mentioned?
Camino.
El Camino.
Brian, can you look up when that's coming out? I want to
It's
say
coming out October 12th, 11th.
I think.
October 11th.
I have so much
and,
TV to catch up on.
I just showed you that last night. You didn't even know about it. And last night I showed you the trailer. Remember for the? Oh no, you
Yeah,
knew
you did.
about
you know,
October
I-
11th.
I knew it was coming
it.
out. You just showed me the
yeah,
trailer.
but
on
that
it.
was, right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
It's October
yeah,
11th for all.
Right.
October 11th.
Yeah.
I have it right in front of me. And also the other one was the Cuba Libre.
Cuba Libre.
Cuba Libre.
Gotcha. All right.
All
Cool,
right.
man.
So we'll check those out. Joey, what do you got for us?
All right, so well, I'm wearing currently, for those of you just listening, and for everyone on video, you can see I'm wearing a Pickle Rick t-shirt.
Pickle Rick!
Pickle Rick from Rick and Morty, which is probably like one of my top 5 favorite shows of all time. That's coming back November 19th. I've had it marked on my calendar since they announced it. It's awesome for me. At the end of season 3, they were not sure if they were off the air. They did not have a contract,
didn't
and
have
they
a
could
re-up?
not make an. They couldn't reach an agreement with Cartoon Network, and it was going to fall through, and everybody was devastated because that show was beloved. So
My
not
daughter
only
loves that freaking show.
not only is it coming back for season 4, they signed a 4-season contract.
Oh my
like
God, it'll be going on
4
forever.
additional seasons. So
Like based on what
That's
you
awesome.
said, isn't there a real chance that this guy might die of cirrhosis of the liver
The-
before he gets through another
the,
4 seasons?
the voice actor who does
Okay,
Justin
I-
Roiland.
He
Well,
does
based on what you
Justin
guys are
Roiland.
filling me in on,
Let's just say he's a method actor, and Rick Sanchez, the main character, is pretty drunk a lot,
Yes.
and Justin Roiland is a method actor. So
I gotcha.
you guys can
I'm
probably
gonna
figure
check that out though.
But Rick and Morty's coming back November 19th. That's why I'm wearing this shirt. But also one of my other favorite shows. I've said it before. It might be my favorite show of all time. I don't even know. It goes back and forth so much with me. South Park came back on Wednesday.
South
Freaking
Park?
hilarious episode. It was so good. If you
Oh, you did watch it? You watched
so
it
good.
new?
Yeah,
Okay.
I watched it already. Again, but I can't do commercials.
Okay.
So luckily, Comedy Central has a deal with Hulu.
Okay.
So all the South Parks are up the next day on Hulu.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Bro,
One day.
I hate commercials so much.
But even on Hulu,
Yeah,
you gotta
I-
pay not to get them.
I just, yeah.
But that's my whole thing. So I hate commercials so much. I pay the $12 Hulu plan, so
Right.
commercial free.
Right, and then
Yeah.
even then, right? Isn't
Yeah.
it true that even some of those shows
Some of those-
contractually they still have to have commercials?
So some of them they do, but if they do,
you
it's
imagine?
it's only in the beginning.
okay.
Only in the beginning. It won't. It's not
Can
going
you
to break
believe
the
we're
show.
like paying to get rid of commercials? We're crazy.
so that's
first
coming
world
back.
problems, right?
And then the other big show. This is a little spoiler alert for our Halloween episode. I might be in costume for this particular show
Do-do-do.
coming into its last season. This actually is my favorite current show in syndication drama. And it's Mr. Robot, and Mr. Robot is
Mr.
coming back for its
Robot.
4th and final season.
I didn't know that
Amazing
was still
show.
going on.
I love that show, man. It's so unique from the first time the first episode I fell in love with it, and it's just like it sucked me in.
Yeah, I think I watched like half season. This is the hackers, right?
Yeah,
the guy doesn't
Elliot.
know which side of the
So he's a
Like
hacker.
if they're bad or good guys, right?
Yeah, he's schizophrenic, and he also he's sort of like a paranoid schizophrenic because I think he has a lot of other issues as well.
Who, the guy
But,
who pulls him in, or the guy who gets pulled in? Because I vaguely remember it.
what do you mean by pulled in?
The guy who ends up he goes to their little warehouse setup, right? Isn't that what it is? And they're like around Rye Playland or some crap. Or
Yes,
something?
but
Amusement
that's
park?
oh wow. So I
I saw the first
I don't
season,
want to
that's
tell
it.
you because that's a spoiler.
Yeah,
But that's them, right?
Wait, did I just? I might have just spoiled it. For
That
you.
he has schizophrenia. I don't think I knew that.
Oh shit!
Yeah, you did just blow
So
it
he's
all.
man.
so he's imagining
That's
some
actually
of
a
it.
major spoiler
Yeah, so
alert.
don't
I'm
even
an
bother
asshole.
with that one.
No, I didn't really.
Wow, I'm an asshole.
That's
was
all
like
right.
the whole
You know what? Those are
spoiler
one of
alert.
those things where you could spoil for me and I wouldn't care.
Yeah.
I'm not that interested,
Yeah,
so I
Christian-
could just
all
sit
right,
and
so
Just
listen.
what
another
I'll just
thing I have
say
to
is,
Christian
bleep out.
Slater is in it, right?
Christian Slater
I
is
thought he
his
was in
dad. But it's his dad.
Oh, now you're spoiling
All
for
right,
everybody, not just us two here.
Let's stop there.
There's two of us here and everyone out there.
Let's stop there.
All right.
whatever.
All right,
Anyway,
so
the point
give
is
us the
that-
recap. What are the shows we're watching?
All right, so anyway, so for me, you got, like I said, you got Rick and Morty's coming back November 19th. If you don't watch that, get on it. South Park came back on Wednesday. It's back for its 23rd season. And then Mr. Robot is coming back. I'm actually not sure the date, Brian. I don't know if you want to pull it up.
Sure, why not?
I'm not sure the exact date for Mr. Robot, but that's also coming back. This,
When we go offline, we're going to chat about that.
Yeah,
'cause
exactly.
I do want to hear about
yeah.
it. All right, so for me, real briefly, I went pretty much straight comedy here, except for one I want to check out, which I don't know much about. It's a new show. But so the Goldbergs.
October 6th.
October
Okay,
6th?
cool, nice.
So that's for Mr. Robot?
Yeah, yes,
okay,
yep.
October 6th, Mr. Robot. All right, so the Goldbergs, can't get enough of it. I keep telling you guys, get on that Goldbergs tip.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is like season 5 or 6. I don't even know anymore. They also have a spin-off. What the heck's it called? I forget. Brian, can you check it real quick? It's about teacher. She's teaching class. The girl who plays Lainey on the show ends up teaching with the gym teacher. It's a spin-off. I got to be
the
honest, I
Goldbergs?
watched like 5. Yeah, just put
Rob,
Goldberg spin-off.
The mom on
I didn't
Goldberg,
love it
wasn't
that
she
much.
From Mad TV?
She's in everything. Yeah, she's
so
she's an
cool.
excellent actress.
She is.
She's
Schooled?
funny. My wife loves her.
Yeah. She was in Bridesmaids too. Remember Bridesmaids?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was in that. Yeah,
she's
yeah.
one of the main people. She's in
Yeah.
everything now.
Yeah, she's great.
She's in that the closet couple when she with what the hell, Blended.
Oh,
She plays the friend in Blended with what's his name?
I don't even know what Blended is.
Oh, that was kind of. It was another Adam Sandler movie. They got
Oh,
terrible
yeah?
reviews, but
Oh, really?
I thought it was funny, man.
Dude, Adam Sandler has a new movie coming out. You saw that movie? It's like a legitimate actual drama. Like,
Oh, it's
like,
on
I think It's
Netflix.
gonna be, no,
There's one
no.
new
It's
one
not
on Netflix.
No, this is,
Wendy. Well, what is?
I
her
think
name?
it's something like that. Yeah, no. This is like an actual big budget drama. Like it's not even a comedy. It's a legitimate drama. I think he's gonna knock it out of the park, man. He's an underrated
it's Wendy
actor.
McLendon Covey.
Yes, there you go. Yes,
Uncut
that's it.
Gems.
No,
Uncut Gems is the one that's Uncut Gems is that one. Yes, Brian. Yes.
The one that's coming out.
Yes,
Then-
thank
so
you.
the spinoff was Schooled.
Schooled, okay. So the girl who plays Lainey, the very attractive blonde girl who was the ex-girlfriend of Barry on the show. I don't know. I don't want to go on to it. But just watch the show. It's really funny. I might check it out again because I like Goldberg so much, but I watched a few Schooled episodes and I wasn't impressed.
Yeah, no.
But Modern Family, tried and true. It's
yes.
hilarious.
Final.
I'm going to watch that.
season,
Can't get
bro.
enough
I
of
didn't know
Modern
that.
Family.
Wow, okay.
I find it, okay, some of it gets a little repetitive, but that's always going to happen. But it always still feels pretty fresh, and it's so consistent.
It feels like one of the most flawlessly well-written
It's
comedies.
so well written. The timing,
It's
look how
perfect.
big a cast it is. Somehow it all
I
meshes
love
well
that
together.
there's no laugh track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's no
Oh
laugh
my
track,
god, I know
right?
that's so corny. Ha 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 ha. Although we might
Like,
need a
don't
laugh
tell me
track.
when to
Yeah,
laugh, damn it.
eventually.
I know. Here's your cue to laugh. If the joke doesn't make me laugh and you need a cue, it's probably not funny.
Yeah.
Although, could you make the argument that them looking at the camera after every joke is almost like a laugh track? Because Jay does it all the time. Like Jay and Claire,
in
they always
dictation?
kind of look at the camera when
Yeah.
they make a
I
joke.
don't know.
You know?
I never really paid attention to that. Maybe. Like it's a cue?
Yeah, right?
Okay, here's the punchline.
Yeah, right?
Stares
A little
at the
bit.
camera. Close up.
Yeah.
All right, and then the last one, I think it's freaking funny, is Superstore. It's like, I don't think it's
Oh, yeah.
as consistent as Modern Family, but few comedies are
I
that
thought that show
consistent.
was going to get canceled.
But Superstore, it's pretty funny. It's just like a bunch of workers who work at an obviously Walmart ripoff.
Yeah.
And it's like their day to day and their little interactions between each other. Yeah, I mean, I could see it getting axed at some point. It's not hilarious, but it's funny.
But
and
it's
it's like,
lasted way longer than I
yeah,
thought
it's
is my
funny. Just
point,
shut your
yeah.
brain off. They're likable characters. It's nothing any. And the other one, of course, I'm wearing my shirt as well, right?
Bob's Burgers,
Bob's
baby.
Burgers, another
Bob's Burgers,
season. I
nice.
love Bob's
Dude,
Burgers.
animated shows are so good now.
Bob is my spirit animal.
Jesus.
Bob is my spirit
but
animal.
you
This is
know,
what I feel like. I
that's,
love my children, but they're killing me at the same time.
That's John H. Benjamin, Rob,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Who does Archer as well, which is also
yeah.
amazing.
I hear that's so funny.
seen
I've never watched
every
it.
pretty
episode
funny.
I've
Is
watched
it?
of
Yeah, I
Archer.
hear
Archer's
it's
amazing.
like the main thing on Adult Swim. I think. Right? It's their main.
Yeah,
It's
Well,
gotten so many
it's actually
nominations for
FX.
number one.
It's FX actually, Archer.
Oh, it's not
Yeah,
Adult Swim.
no,
or-
no, no, no.
I
yeah,
thought it was like
it's
their
an
main thing or
FX
whatever.
show, yeah.
All right, and the one I'm looking forward to, other than Bob's Burgers, and just as an aside, I'm thinking like you pick over, you got your Rick and Morty, Bob's
Yeah.
Burgers. Animated shows are just becoming more and more and
Dude,
more popular,
I
aren't
was just
they?
saying, yeah,
I
so
just
it's
saw
so
something
weird. Yeah,
advertised
yeah.
for like Bless Your Heart or something. Did you
what's
guys see that?
Oh, is that on
It's
Netflix?
some new comedy or something. No, it's like on one of the main channels.
There's
I could
so
take a
many
quick
good
look.
ones,
It's called Bless Your Heart or something like that, and it's got a lot of
There's
famous
so many
voices
good
on it.
ones.
So, and then there's the second season of what's it called? That one's on Disenchantment.
Oh, Disenchantment. Yeah.
I saw a few
yes.
episodes of that. I didn't really get
Yeah,
on
but
it that much.
Obviously, you know who Bill Burr is, right? Rob?
Yeah, I love the
Yeah,
comedian.
so Bill Burr.
He's
F is
funny.
for
Bill,
family?
F is for family. Bill
Oh,
Burr
okay.
has that. Yeah, apparently
I haven't
that's
seen that
really
either.
funny.
Have you guys watched that?
No, I haven't watched it.
It is kinda funny.
Apparently, it's pretty funny.
Yeah. Like you said, South Park again, another season.
Just knocking it out of the park.
Yeah, they really are. It's still fresh.
Dude, they did an episode all about, you know how like they had the ICE immigration like bus
ICE
stops, like
come
they
through,
they're
yeah.
breaking
They just
down
had 'em
people's
through
doors
here.
and all that. Yeah.
We just had that
Oh
happen.
really?
Newburgh
no
had
shit.
4 days of raids. Yeah.
No shit, really? Well, they did it where Cartman, because like Kyle is a Jew on the show.
Are you going to spoil
So
another
he gets
one?
like, no, I'm just saying. No. In the trailer they show it.
Oh, all right.
So I'm just going off the trailer. If you watch the trailer for the episode, Cartman calls ICE on Kyle's family because they're Jews. So
Oh my
it's like
God.
a throwback to that whole thing. And dude, it is so freaking funny.
Okay, and the other one I'm looking forward to that I'll wrap up with is called Stumptown,
Okay.
Oh, I've heard of that one.
which
It's
is
about Portland.
Portland, Oregon. Which I guess Stumptown is a term that they came up with in the 1800s when apparently. So I just had looked this up not long ago. They were moving in at such a massive rate that they were like whacking the forest down so quick that they didn't even remove stumps. Sometimes they were clearing at such a rapid pace. So then it got the nickname Stumptown.
Okay.
And then there's a famous coffee brewer
Stumptown
there called
Coffee.
Yeah, okay. So this show is basically stars Colby Smulders.
Oh
Is that
yeah,
it?
yeah.
From
Oh,
How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
And that
she's
like a
cop,
PI.
right? Or
She's
like,
a private
okay.
investigator, and she has like a lot of broken home issues. So she's really great at investigating everyone else's problems, but
It's
not her
comedy- it's
own. That
comedy,
typical
right?
thing. It's listed as drama, but I'm sure it's dramedy.
Maybe
Okay.
a little bit.
But I love that kind of thing. I love PI type shows, and
Yeah.
I like her enough. So I'm gonna give that a shot.
It's kind of funny you bring up the coffee thing because I remember I had an editing class where they were teaching us how to use Avid, the editing software.
Oh,
There you
okay.
go.
And one of the projects was like pick 2 documentary footage and like make edit it to like be good, like edit it into like a small little documentary thing. And so one of them was Stumptown Coffee, and that's
Yeah.
the one.
Okay.
That's the one I did.
Yeah, that's
And
good.
yeah, it
So
was
it's like pick a Michael Bay movie and make it not suck.
yeah, basically.
We can only do so much.
But yeah,
Damn
it
it.
was like practice how to use Avid doing like a documentary thing.
Yeah,
Just
but
do
so,
whatever you want.
uh,
See, actually, now Brian just flexed. He really actually is a pro. Like we're like we over here sitting here like, oh yeah, we know how to talk with mouth and words. And Brian's over there like, no, I went to school for this and I did this. Yeah, no,
It was funny though, like in the class, because like we'd spend like a couple days, like doing the project, and I'd be done on with like 1 more or 2 more days to go.
Yeah.
And people are still going. I just didn't know what to do, so I'd just be sitting at my desk, like looking at the thing I edited, like,
That's
yeah,
awesome, man.
I'm done.
Dude, that's freaking great, man.
So those are the apps we're playing. These are the things we're using and checking out these days. This is what we're
Yeah,
watching.
man.
Go ahead and hit us up on that social
Yeah.
media. I got to give a shout out to there is a Switch Squad now.
Wait, we're not done yet.
Georgie,
Oh, we're
I'm
not
going to
done?
get to you.
Oh, no,
I'm
we
still
got
working.
it. Don't worry, man.
I know you're doing National
Bob's got
Days.
it.
And
Yeah.
we have other things to talk about.
All
too.
right, so I'm
True,
just
a
telling you
couple
what we're
items,
going to
sure.
give a shout out to the Switch Squad, Georgie and his crew playing Fortnite.
Oh shit, bro. I'm gonna tell you that.
So all you Nintendo Switch addicts out there, and it's not just me. There's other people. I see the eyes rolling.
There is.
You're the Switch Lite.
So this is my friend Kev, the guy who just finished boot camp. He's now out in California, so he's allowed to have his technology back. And he went to the store to buy himself something because he has nothing to do in the barracks all day out
Yeah.
in California. And he sent me this picture. He bought the brand new Switch Lite with
Yeah,
the
dude, the
Let's Go
Pokemon.
Pikachu. He
Yeah,
bought.
there you go. That's what's
There you
up.
go. And I was like,
Nice, okay.
holy shit! Wow, it is.
All
it's
right.
Switch
blowing up,
Squad's
man.
growing. They're
Switch
growing.
Lite.
All right, Joe, what do you got? Tell us what you have.
All right, so we have
National
a bunch of things.
days?
We want to do the national days, and there's just a few of them. Of course, the list, and they're getting more and more ridiculous every time I talk about them. It's getting to the point we can dedicate an entire
We're not going to. Don't worry about it.
show just to the national days. But I'm just gonna mention the most interesting ones. And the first one on this list that I want to mention for the 28th is National Drink Beer Day. That's why I have a beer, and you have a beer.
Which
It's
is
finished.
apparently different than
Apparently
National
done.
Beer Day.
National, yeah, which I guess is, for some reason is different. I'm not sure why.
Well, this
Yeah.
is what my beer is.
there you go.
Came up bear.
Picture of
Bear.
a bear.
Okay.
There you go.
The
That sounds-
bear.
That's about right.
Bears.
And since Brian brought it up, it's also National Ghost Hunting Day. Since
Oh,
we're
really?
looking
Shit,
forward
wow,
to the
really?
National
Hunters
Ghost
coming back
Hunting.
on, the
Yep.
Ghost Adventures or whatever
That's
it is.
weird.
I saw a bunch of people at McDonald's this morning dressed all in white. I wonder if they were actual. Maybe I should have been on that.
And since Rob's brought up saving your photos on Google Photos, it's National Save Your Photos Day.
National
Photos.
Save Your Photos
Yeah.
Day.
Not a sponsor,
Save
but
Your
they should be.
Photos Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. Delete them all the other days. Only save the ones
Yeah.
today.
So
exactly.
that's it. That's
All right, cool.
That's all.
man.
All right, that's it. So, anybody got
And,
anything else? I know you got to wrangle this in. Go ahead and mention your Daniel Jones bit.
All right, so I got Daniel
Daniel
Jones. Daniel Jones got me 33 points in fantasy football on Sunday, and I talked
Wow.
so much shit. Well, not shit. I didn't talk
Well,
shit.
who the hell would have
I was like,
expectations for
No,
him?
Yeah.
we predicted
Nobody.
a loss against the
Yeah.
We
Buccaneers.
predicted a loss. Not only did now they should have lost, like Rob said upstairs. The guy missed a
Chip shot.
little chip shot field
Yeah.
goal. But the most important thing is Daniel Jones basically won me my fantasy football games.
He
So,
played unconscious, man.
Yeah, it was unbelievable, man.
He did
So,
play really well.
Shout out to him. Shout out to the game tomorrow. And yeah, that's about it.
Shout out to
Oh,
I'm
and
playing
one
you
other
tomorrow,
thing,
Joey Tubes.
just to be clear, we promoted GFM Alpha Badgers on Twitch.
GFM Badgers.
It's
You
actually
did it again.
no. I was going to correct myself. It's GFM Badgers.
I think
on
Rob
Twitch.
said Badgers the whole time. Rob
Yes.
was on point the whole
You
time.
can find us at yourfaceduma.com.
Yeah, you can find us on internet.
Internet.aol.
All right.
Let's take us
anyway.
out, man. Joey, tell them where they can find us.
All right, guys, you can find us at looselyrelatedpodcast.com. From there, you can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Twitter at LR Podcast. That's POCASTS. And on Instagram, I'm sorry, that's loosely_related. You can find us on Facebook. You can also find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, and iHeartRadio. And if you really want to take a good look at us, you can find us on YouTube as well.
It's way more fun. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe, and if you want to have or not miss any of our episodes, hit the notification button as
Yeah.
well.
Well,
Yes.
As we
Please.
used to say in the Bronx, we hate to flat lay view, but it's time to kick rocks. Bye.
Peace.
Bye, everybody.